trying to avoid bone death, and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
No, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo and how Chris promotes the show, trying to avoid bone death and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
Oh no, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo and how Chris promotes the show, trying to avoid bone death and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
Oh no, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo and how Chris promotes the show, trying to avoid bone death and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
Oh no, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo and how Chris promotes the show, trying to avoid bone death and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
Oh no, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo and how Chris promotes the show, trying to avoid bone death and occasionally having fantastic guests. You're watching Chris and John have a chat.
Oh no, the Canadians are
The hummus chums and the mist of a machine combine to make the ultimate team. Chris Betts and John Hastings providing delicious chat that you shall be tasting. We'll be cringing to watch Mojo.
Oh my God! God! Good God! 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 Good God! 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 Good God! 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 God!
Trying
God!
to
God!
avoid
God! God!
bone
God!
death.
God! Guys! Oh my God! Guys! 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 Oh my God.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Can't hear you. My volume must be real down.
Oh.
Oh, now I can hear you.
There we go. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. I'm in a weird mood today.
Let's talk about your weird mood, and then we'll talk about my weird mood because I know what caused my weird mood. So let's work through. You're also way more of an enigma. I'm just a man wandering in the desert. You're like a sphinx that you find in that desert when you've taken drugs. And you're just like, hey, would you like to read a boring book of poetry? And you're like, no. And you're like, it's very well written. And you're like, I don't know why you're my friend because I just want to punch you in your goddamn mouth.
Well, then you read it and you're like, oh shit, that's the best book I ever fucking read. Damn it.
Incorrect.
You suddenly go, wait, Walt Whitman was a genius? Shit dicks. Oh no.
Oh my God, Robotron has just raided Ashley. Oh my God.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome Raiders.
Raiders. Oh my God.
Ashley is in Edinburgh tonight.
She's in Edinburgh.
You backed the wrong horse, kids. You
backed the wrong horse, but we still thank you so much for raiding.
Thank you for the raid.
Please stick around and watch. This is the Untitled Twitch stream. John Robertson, if you are there, do you want to come on the program? Also, a little video for everybody.
Oh my God, John.
Raid, it's a fucking raid. Raid, thank you for the raid. Stick around and give us a follow. Join the hummus chums.
I'm going to say this right now.
Sisterhood. Follow Ashley.
Everyone follow Ashley. Thank you for
Word
following
Red Dragon. Good job following. Other people that followed. Who followed?
Whoever called us welcome. Whoever said we're
MJ.
here, fuckloaves. You're the best. You're all fuckloaves in my eyes. Thank you so much, Ponko92. No,
why won you? Thank you for the follow.
Ashley is getting email indications of this because when you get a new follower, you get that like ba-bing, 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 ba-bing. Thank you, department head, for following Ashley. Not a cult.
You're all making an excellent decision. Follow Ashley. She's great.
Oh my God, Spike
Capri. Goddamn right.
No, Chris, it's Capri.
Capri, like Frank Capra.
That's right. It's his
We're
daughter.
Getting pretentious real early today.
Oh, is Capra Frank Capra? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. At this point, yeah, he was the top of the game, but at this point, it's like in 50 years, Martin Scorsese is going to be very pretentious. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I was someone. Oh man,
Capri. Suck it.
God damn it, Spike Capri. Gingy 23, welcome aboard.
This is all excellent stuff.
Oh, Fuckloaves or Darren's. I knew Darren's from the darkroom. I didn't know Fuckloaves. Thank you for that intel, Alex Watson. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Alex Watson is Armand.
Excuse me.
Fuckloaves, go follow the Untitled Twitch stream. Yes, everyone who is watching right now, please. We're going to put a link up right now. Is there it is. Thank you. Please go follow that. That's where this show is going to migrate to. It's 3 of us hosting it on 3 different Twitch streams. We're moving over to one Twitch stream at this point because the 3 of us have accidentally very complicated Augusts. I'm thinking what's going to end up happening is I'm going to come back to LA a day or 2 early from New York, and we'll do it August 30th or 31st is my theory. None of that is true. That is just what I'm throwing out there as a possibility, because an update has been asked for, and I felt necessary on all that. Ponko92. My name's Spike, and I drive a Capri.
Oh! Nice, Spike. So guys, this is the Untitled Twitch stream. It's basically like a late night, whatever the fuck happens show. Sometimes we get very vulnerable. Sometimes we get very silly. Sometimes we rate the general hotnesses of dictators. It's all over the place. Do we have a guest tonight? John?
The time might show up. He told me he had a complicated meeting, and I wanted to ask more, but I didn't. So we may be joined by, not in the UK, you bitch. My name is maybe not,
because it's Div lol. Well, welcome everybody.
We're gonna
Ashley
talk
Manning
about
is at ACMS right now.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to ACMS, check it out. It's fucking excellent. It's a very fun, silly live show. She's doing live comedy. We're locked in our homes.
I'm not locked in my home. I literally just came back from the grocery store. I live in America, where the Delta variant is here, as is the Lambda. And what is this channel? What do you do? I will tell you, Mayoman 360.
I think I just said, didn't I?
A variety of different things, but we'll tell you again. It's a chat stream / an in real life stream / friends just talking about emotions and bowel movements mostly. It's basically like what if InfoWars, the only conspiracy they covered is the fact that Smarties should be available worldwide, and drugs and cum. Oh, Alex Watson.
Yeah, there's a lot of drugs and cum as well.
No, none of. Hilariously, there's a lot of estuary swimming. There is a lot of estuary swimming.
Dreamland Public Access, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Dreamland Public Access.
Raid? Oh!
Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome.
Welcome, Dreamland Public Access. We're in the
I hope you had a wonderful
raid.
stream.
We have another raid. Actually, hilarious. None of us are Yanks. I'm Canadian.
Not a single one.
He's Canadian. He lives in London, England. I used to live in London, England. And then they did a Brexit. And I said, well, they're definitely going to vote for Hillary Clinton in America. So I moved here. Incorrect procedure. But I still predict, by the way, America is going to come out better out of this in the long run, better than Britain. I don't know how.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Complete twit. Yes, fellow Canadians, please fucking thank you so much. We had some great chats. Canadian chat even. Did you?
Oh.
Oh, Mayo Man, welcome to the sisterhood. Thank you so much. Do you live
happy birthday, Steve Mooney. Happy birthday, buddy. Friend of the stream, Steve Mooney, A-class human being, wonderful dude. Very happy birthday.
This is true, but I will explain it. It's because I'm not alt-right, but I do look like them and dress like them, so I end up like accidentally at the meetings when I'm on my wanders. And then I'm just like, I'm like, instead of storming a bunch of buildings, why don't we just remember that love is the eternal bond of human beings, and the way forward is actually to just learn about each other. And then they're like, Jesus, John, chill out a bit.
Why do they know your name?
I end up there a lot. They have snacks.
I told you that happened to me at an EDL march, right?
I mean, are you telling me you had more than one random interaction with the EDL? Because we already had.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh, yeah.
best Good Friday of my entire life.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Smoking weed and walking around London in the sunshine.
So
Fuck
fun.
yeah.
So fun. I was in Trafalgar Square just writing, and an EDL march, it happened around me. And I looked around, and I was like, well, this is pre-Brexit. And I was like, well, these guys seem like bad dudes, but I look like them. So how about I just walk around amongst them, see what the vibe's like? Because most people that are like us mentally can't get away with that. They get their heads kicked in. But we look like bad dudes.
Thank you for following Complete Twit.
Good job.
How were the vibes? Great question, Beardy Noise.
So sad.
Yes. I was about to bring this
saddest group of people I've ever walked. It was the opposite of a fair. They were so depressed. They just had the saddest eyes, drinking tins of cider with like nowhere to go. It was fucking bleak, man.
They have hate in their heart. You know what I mean? Like,
but it didn't even feel angry. That was the weird thing. It just felt sad.
I can totally explain this to you.
Beardy Noise, thank you so much for subbing. You're the greatest.
Thank you, Beardy Noise. Sarah K. It's been a while. Welcome aboard. That'll happen in the UK. EDL marches bursting into reality from whatever dungeon they were dwelling in. As friends rust. I like your style. Why don't you pop on a follow, my friend? I'd like you to be alerted when this stream is on because I like the cut of your jib.
You know what they used to be called? Hey, Raz, way to go subscribing. D-Carp, way to go subscribing.
I think those
Sir,
all gifts.
Why one? Oh, is this all gifted? Okay, nice one.
I don't know who just did that gift, but thank you for doing that gift of subs.
Very thoughtful.
Phenomenal.
Do you know what the EDL used to be called? First of all, do you know where they started?
Ooh, I don't know any of this.
So originally, they were in Luton, of all goddamn places. Which, I mean, if you're going to grow up sad anywhere, it's going to be Luton.
Sidebar. King Geo, thank you so much for the gift subs on Ashley's channel. You're phenomenal.
King Geo, what a gent. What a gent. So they're from Luton, and originally they were called, for anyone that is in the UK, the EDL is a bunch of hate-mongering fucks. You get it. But they're called the United Peoples of Luton. Ironically, the United Peoples of Luton.
That's how like all the African dictatorships are always like the People's Republic of democratically elected. No, we didn't do that shit. You did.
Democratic socialists or fascists. It's all just names. It's all just names.
Alex Watson got the second vax. Congratulations,
right.
Alex Watson.
That's right. Yeah, they were a football hooligan group originally, but then they were an anti-Muslim group because Luton has a fairly large Muslim and South Asian population, and they don't distinguish between Sikhs and Muslims.
So the food alone smells so different. Like, I understand we're dealing with fucking oh, fuck you,
That's good
Alex.
work.
No. The Judean People's Front splitters. It's something that always shocked me because I never understood when people were like, you can't tell the difference between someone from India and someone from Iraq. And I'm like, you absolutely can. Like, even if you're blind and mute, just write on a piece of paper, prepare some food from your homeland. Such different, excellent aromas. Like, here's what I've said it before and I'll say it again. Here, all cuisine atrocities, I put at the door of white people. I put that at the door. We, every day, every white human being should just hand an Italian person $5. Just being like, you fucking got our ass out of a jam, bro. Because if not, it would just be meat that's boiled. And then, and the French, actually, and the French as well. And the Italians.
The Italians.
I already said Italians. I said Italians,
sorry, I didn't
French.
hear that. Sorry, I was reading the private chat.
Italian, French,
Yeah.
Spanish, but they're not white, so I'm going to take them off the list technically. But there are white
Yeah,
Spaniards.
they're
I'm putting them in. I'm putting them in. I'm claiming them. I'm taking them. We just lost 7 people when I did that, and you know what? They weren't ready for the program. Because I got a story I'm going to tell about something I shouldn't have brought up on a podcast, but did that comes out later that we will talk about.
Very
exactly, Stewface. You know what I'm saying, right? Luton has one of the best live music venues. Again, this actually goes to my point. If you really want to enjoy, especially aggressive music, the addition of some skidheads for just that element of I fucking hate these people. Let's get in the pit and sort it out. Very, very fun.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Los Angeles. So I love punk rock and I love music history. You always read punk rock books that were set in LA and they always talk about, and then the skidheads arrived. And you're like, when you live in LA, you're like, where did the skinhead, like you couldn't organize. The only place to organize that meeting would be in a Mexican restaurant. So there is no way that they're from LA. And then you just drive to Orange County and you're like, oh my God. And there's like statistics. It's like highest population per capita of people with white supremacist leanings are in Orange County. Like,
really?
Wow. It's not 100%. They keep changing all of this sort of stuff. But you're like, you go to Orange County and you're like, how can you be angry in this paradise? All the roads are so wide.
Yeah, man. There's nothing but space. Your neighborhood has a theme song, you fucks. It's got bells in it. Mexicans in Morrissey. What's Morrissey got against Mexicans?
Alex, I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, Alex, me neither.
Can you just elaborate? But I like what you're saying. More like White County. Come on.
Oh baby, or fake tan. Maybe it's taking it that extra.
Go ahead.
That extra step, because they're ashamed of their whiteness, but they're so proud of it.
Sarah K, I have to agree with you. It's so fascinating. Some of the places where you find like the most amazing interest. Like I always like that with like cuisine and like the best curry I've ever had in the UK was in Chester, in a old school curry like restaurant that doesn't do takeaway. You sit down with the paper like a fucking British curry house. Chester, UK, worth the train trip.
Nice. I've been to Chester probably 3 or 4 times. Don't remember it at all.
It's not a memorable place.
Nope. Every time I show up, it's the first time I've been there.
It's one of those places you get there and you go, Manchester. Should have just gone to Manchester.
Yeah. What this Chester misses? Bowls.
I was always jealous of northern comedians who were able to be like, I can just stay here and this is fine. Like I always just had a subtle bit too much ambition to like just live in fucking Rumcorn or shit. And then fucking Adam Rowe and Paul Smith proved me wrong by fucking
crushed it.
Just crushed it. God, I love Paul Smith's success in the UK. I love it every day. Still can't get a meeting with an agent. He sells out arenas.
Hilarious. The one that always struck me because he was the first one that I met who did that was Matt Reed. Because he lived was it Newcastle? He lived sort of he lived near-ish the middle of the country. And I was like, why do you live up there? And he was like, because I can get anywhere in a fucking hour and I make my living on the road and I live for cheap. And I was like, oh my God, that's actually brilliant. I make my living off the road and it cost me £1 million to get everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manchester has fucking great curry houses.
Oh my God. Oh, what the fuck? Why did I add your YouTube again? Or did you do that?
I did that.
Oh, never mind. Then that's fine.
Yeah. I thought I might as well start adding it again,
Yeah. Seriously. Oh, we somehow have lost all the viewers from everywhere. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, did we lose a channel? Because that's hilarious. We dropped all the way down.
Yeah, did we? I think we lost Ashley's channel or something happened. Well,
yeah.
We'll be back.
Well, whatever. Well, whoever can see us, thank you so much for being here. Beardy Noise, did Morrissey come out as gay? I didn't know that. I mean, it's not that surprising, but...
You didn't know Morrissey was gay?
I know nothing about Morrissey. I know that he's hate-filled, and I know that he carries flowers.
I think Twitch had a hiccup. Oh, thanks, Friends Rust.
Thanks. Oh yeah, there they are. There they are.
Great. Can I just say this about Morrissey? My favorite person to dislike. He's so wonderful. Just get a... You know what? Because I do not prescribe to the theory that hate is bad for you. You have to keep it as hate. You have to keep it as hate and anger. It has to be molten. It has to be active. If it cools, that's bitterness. You have to release that. That's the bitterness is bad. Hate is energy. It's power.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
doing
invigorating.
this because fuck you. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that is. I do think there's positive stuff in that. And Morrissey's great because Morrissey updates your reason to hate.
Yeah.
I did not hear about the Simpsons episode Stewface. Also, Stewface, it's been a while. Nice to have you back, bud.
I gotta say, that's one of the things that I like so much about this generation coming up of young people is that they're hating, but they're trying to hate for the right reasons.
Again, Steve Hughes's fall into lunacy bugs the shit out of me because he's such a good stand-up comedian. He goes, it's important to hate, but hate positively. And it's just like, that's exactly how I feel.
Hate someone for who they choose to be, not who they were born as.
As friends rust, can you please send me the anti-Morrissey song? Do you want to can you just pop that in there? And oh my God. So there's an ice cream place there called Ginger's Comfort Emporium, which is literally the best ice cream I've ever eaten. Ooh, that's good stuff. But back to your weird moon, Christopher. What's going on?
I just got a lot of stresses on all sides right now. So I think that's all. I think just at the end of the day, also just woke up from a nap, just feeling weird. But it's more. I think it's a lot of that.
For those of you, Chris is literally in the midst of moving from England, which was his home for 9 years, to the Rocky Mountain Islands of Canada with 1,400 books. And he's currently living with a 74-year-old bully who keeps making him drink amaretto. And, it's COVID. He's moving. You're leaving a place where you're going to a place where you're born, but you haven't been an adult in Canada ever. Yeah,
not really. There was like a few years in Montreal, but even that was early 20s. And also, my wife is moving to a different country for a brief period. So also, we're organizing that move. So it's all just bad. Yeah, there's family stuff. It's a whole fucking thing. Oh wow, Beardy Noise coming in with an essay here. This is a Terry Pratchett quote. I'll read it out. Granny Weatherwax was often angry. She considered it one of her strong points. Genuine anger was one of the world's greatest creative forces, but you had to learn how to control it. That didn't mean you let it trickle away. It meant you damned it carefully. Let it develop a working head. Let it drown whole valleys of the mind. And then, just when the whole structure was about to collapse, opened a tiny pipeline at the base and let the iron-hard stream of wrath power the turbines of revenge. Wow.
I'm going to say it. Terry Pratchett, he can put a couple of sentences together, can't that son of a bitch?
That dude can fucking run.
Yeah.
I've never read Discworld. Have you read Discworld?
No. I have.
I tried to read a thing he wrote about death with Neil Gaiman, but I forgot to buy it.
Beardy, don't do what you're about to do. Because every English comedian that exists has done this to me, and I will read Discworld. I will get around to it.
I don't think I will.
I will. It's exactly what I want from a book. Oh, a creative, interesting. It's one of those things where I'm weird with books in that, like, I actually read a lot, but it's in concentrated bursts. Like, I went away to 4th of July to Yosemite. We were there for 4 days. I read 2 books, and one of those was while I was on mushrooms. And I got to tell you, if you've never read a book on mushrooms, really great. What I had to go through was I had to make sure that I didn't remember the book as memories. I had to remember that it was me remembering what was in the book, because I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that, and I was like, nope. And then I was like, that's not your memory. You're stealing a memory, and it's like, oh shit. Okay.
Well, to be fair, it's no one's memory, so it's a fair dues memory. That's all right.
I was reading a book by John Waters where he was recounting memories of making films. Like, no, it was.
I thought it was fiction. Okay, yeah, that is a real one. Yeah,
yeah. It was someone named John. That's very dangerous when you're taking psychedelics. Just reading your own name, and then they said, "Hey, John."
How did he meet Divine?
They grew up on the same street.
Fuck you, really?
Yeah.
No way. Childhood friends, John Waters and Divine. What street was that? What a wild street.
It's about, oh man, John Waters talking about his youth is so fucking interesting because he's saying things like, he's like, people tried to attack friends of mine because they dyed their hair.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. He appears in a Roy Cohn documentary because Roy Cohn and him both summered in the same town of Provincetown, Massachusetts. And he talked about being in a coke den and going up to the owner and being like, why is Roy Cohn here? And he's just like, I spit in his food. Like, don't worry about it. And he's like, no.
Nice.
And basically he was like, did I do cocaine with Roy Cohn? I would not absolutely sully my nostrils with cocaine from Roy Cohn and do my own cocaine. And you're like, fuck. Yes, John Waters.
Love me some fucking John Waters. That's excellent work.
Phenomenal. Oh, if you've not read his books, you're having a stressful time. For your flight, you're not an ebook guy. You're a papier?
Yeah.
If you can find it, Role Models by John Waters.
Okay.
I would send you my copy, but it won't get there in time for you to leave. Just him describing the stripper him and Divine used to go see at a docks located strip club in Baltimore, where she would come out. There's so much more detail to it. This is just one of the things she did. Came out. She'd always come out just naked. She does not strip. Would just come out and then just yell at everyone that they were perverts for looking at her. Turn your head. Oh, it's awesome. Oh.
Did you ever watch that? I think it's like The Art Life, the documentary about David Lynch.
No.
You should. There's a scene in it where he's like, I think he's 8 years old, and he's out on the street, and there's like a woman who's like bleeding, who I think might have been naked, who was just walking down the street of his tiny little suburban town. And like his dad came out and they called the cops, and it was like a whole thing, and she was sitting on the curb, and he's this little boy, and every memory he has is either like a very sweet home life or wild shit like that would just sort of come to him even though it wasn't a thing. And you go, I 100% understand how you made the movies you made, because the dissonance between the perfect, like sort of idyllic 1950s suburban life and the seeing a naked woman bleeding walking down the street is like, that's all of your shit, man. That's all of it.
It's very funny. I'm writing again. I put myself back on a writing, which I have to do after this. But it's one of those things where I'm trying to I had a rule of like, while I was going through everything that I went through this year, I was like, you can't write the stories about this, which looking back was going that I thought it was a creative maneuver, and it was my brain just going, no, you need to experience this. You can't turn this into something that you can control just yet there, bud.
Nice.
So there was none of the stories, because it's something that I'm really struggling with as I get older, because the problem is I've taken a lot of my life and turned them into stories, and it's an active problem now where I don't know which is the real version.
Yeah.
Which is how we got the seeing the person sucking. It's like, I so am sure I was there, but I was not there.
Oh, wow. I did, because I was, that was during my week off that your friend came on.
So I wasn't there. That's why I had him come on, is I was sitting there and I was like, certain details of it did not make sense. So I was just like, and I was like, oh, this is invalid. But sort of doing that and then writing, it's like, I'm remembering a bunch of like stuff of childhood. One thing that is on a podcast I did with Monica Nevi that I think comes out tonight called Bad Pitches with Monica Nevi.
Okay.
Yes, I promote the Untitled Twitch stream, but I also told a story on that I was like, wow, that's dark. And wow, I should do that as stand-up, which involves a friend of mine, like getting a bit obsessed. I'm going to just tease, go watch the story there. And then you can come with questions if you want, but it's a friend almost doing a bit of an old Columbine. And it was just like looking back being like, oh, no wonder I'm fucking anxious. Cause like there was I literally just, it was hey, tell us some bad ideas you had in your life. And I just went to childhood. Yeah, it was so weird because it was literally, I just was like, oh, it was a bad idea. And it was, fuck it, I'll just tell, like, yeah, no, go watch it. I'll tell the story once that's out. What do you think of this? Should I tell the story here?
Yeah, just tell it. It's just a podcast. Just tell it.
Great. A friend of ours allegedly, supposedly got a hold of his dad or mom's firearm and said, I'm going to take this to school at lunchtime. And we were like, nah, you're not. And he was like, yeah, you're right. But that would have been crazy. And it was that like thing of like, looking back, I was like, wait a minute. That he got that far means he was thinking about it.
Yeah. And and that he told you just straight out, I'm going to do this, but in that way of like, I don't know, am I asking you out? If you say no, then no. But if you say yes, then yes. That kind of shit of like, you guys in? I remember we found a to kill list in a kid's locker.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it was weird because it was like I was on
Friends Rust, welcome aboard. Sorry, as Friends Rust. I am so relieved because I like have been part of all my whole day. I was just like, should I have done something? But I was like, we didn't do anything. And by the way, everyone involved, the weirdest one was me. All of them are in like fucking very normal jobs, very normal lives. I bet you some of them don't remember it happened, but I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I immediately revisiting the memory going, what if he had said, I'm not listening to you?
Yeah, that would have been bad. But maybe he was like, well, that was before the solo shooters in high school. It was always like 3 or 4 kids, which is one of my favorite Chris Rock jokes where he's like, these kids couldn't make any friends. There were 6 of them. I didn't have 6 friends.
Oh my God. It was I remember that bit. And I lived that. Because there was way more there was like 18 of them. Like it was a multi-grade. They had a club. They could hang out. They were in the fucking yearbook.
Right?
Oh yeah, I remember that being like, what are they talking about? By the way, if you ever want I can't remember. There's some true crime podcast that I was listening to that goes through the psychology of their relationship. And it's like, you're like, holy shit. And they're like, this is a big problem. This is the most deadly situation you can get, which is like, it's a passive. There's like a guy that worships the other guy. And then the other guy is just obsessed with exercising power and control. And it's like super sexual, but never really is consummated as sex. Like, it's like this whole weird labyrinthian relationship that you can get. And it's like, fuck yeah, exactly.
Just a tiny
exactly
little
like this dynamic on the stream.
Just a cult of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a shitty cult.
Yeah.
I don't name fucking people that do violence, so I just refer to them as person that will not be remembered 1 and person that will not be remembered A. Yeah.
Well, I remember there were 2 kids like that in my high school. But one of them, like, he looked like he was about to go down the road of being a really shitty bully kid. And I don't know what changed, but he just, out of nowhere, kind of became a sweetheart. And he was still, like, he was very popular or whatever, but he was, but he had this, like, bootlicker friend. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that good?
And
there's the fact that he admits I would be at the top of some of those lists. It's just like, fair.
Well, that's like I told you, I was on the one, but I took a weird pride about it.
Wait, you were on the kill list? I didn't hear that.
I was on the list. Apparently, I was number 3.
Bronze medal?
I never saw it, but apparently there were about 15 names on there. And,
that's pretty ambitious, kid. Who do you think you are, the Virginia Tech guy? Come on, you're in Canada.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not in the fucking. We didn't have a bell tower for you to hide in, bud. Such a great move. I wish they hadn't had him applying lipstick, because then it would have been the perfect joke.
I agree. But it's made even better with it comes back and he shoots that guy in the ass. And
that is amazing. So glad I called that guy.
I'm glad I called that guy. Oh my God. Boomstickery, this is a great point. I actually would say it's on a surface level. The air of violence is much more prominent in Britain, but it's person to person, bloody nose violence. America isn't violent. America is just, it'll just be the end. Like, you just have a certain set, like a dangerous neighborhood in the UK, you think I might be beaten up. A dangerous neighborhood in America, you literally think, here is where I die. Like the difference is there's no violence to it. It's violence denotes a possibility of survival. Like,
that's fairly recent, because like I remember in the States, like, because I remember Biggie rapping about that, and he's got this, I can't remember exactly how the rhyme goes, but it was it's the one where he goes about, look at our parents, they're even fucking scared of us, and he sort of says, like, he got into a fight with a guy and the stupid motherfucker tried to use kung fu, I think it was Gimme the Gat, and they just in the song they just pulled their gun, they fucking shoot this guy. Because in like the 70s and 80s and 60s, it was all like in the Black Power movement, it was like we're learning kung fu and we're learning self-defense, and it's about honor and restraint and self-control and things like that. And then in the 90s, it was just like, I'm gonna shoot you right now. And so even that's fairly recent.
This is so fucking funny. Did you do that? Why would you do this to a human being?
Wilder Belly's phase, and it will be worse when it happens. Oh, I do that to everybody that hasn't had a Wilder Belly's phase. They need to know. They need to know.
I think my entire adult life is a wild, rebellious phase. Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because it's been so prolonged, never too wild, never too rebellious.
Very
You don't,
reasonable.
you know,
Very
you don't.
reasonable.
You were never squatting with a bunch of like PETA fanatics, you know.
And not sucking D childhood, and you're not sucking. No. Sucked 1D. Sucked 1D. And I was teenagehood, so that's an adolescence.
There you go.
There's probably blocking orders from contacting some of these people, genuinely not pleasant people, even at that age. Yeah, that's very good. Some people have trauma phases instead. Oh, boom, stickery.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
But a lot, I feel like most of those people end up having intense rebellious periods. They become Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop, bear in mind, and I can't figure this out, and this is probably the key to it, is Iggy Pop's parents are tenured professors at the University of Michigan, but lived in a trailer park. So someone has fucking spent some money inappropriately. You know what I mean? Where you're like, yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah, I love. I've been watching Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown because
Can't
it's
watch it anymore.
so fun. I'd never watched it before. Friends that are always told me to watch it, so I'd never watched it before. So I literally just started putting it on like last week, and I love it. But there's one where he's in New York, and he's talking about New York in the 70s, and there's a couple guys from the scene. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. There's a couple guys from the punk rock scene that he's interviewing, and they're like, Iggy Pop was the one that was supposed to die.
Yeah.
He was the one that wasn't going to make it. And look at him. He's the same.
There's a full year of his life where he does not know where he was and no one else does.
Oh, my God.
It's not like he forgot and other people can tell him. It's literally like he came back from Berlin, landed in LA, 1 year later showed up at David Bowie's house and was like, hey, man. And they were like, where have you been? And he's like, what kind of question is that? Like he doesn't fuck around. Great.
Is that right before they made music together or
After and during?
after? Okay.
It's not made. It's David Bowie. Listen, I love David Bowie. David Bowie wasn't, and at times, the most original person. He found the person doing the thing he liked and was like, oh, I'll just do that, but with pop hooks. And you bring that up to any English person, and they act like you just did a 9/11. But it's fucking true.
That's what geniuses do, right? They take a scene, are heavily influenced by it. Look at his Heathen album. That was the drum and bass one, right?
Oh yeah. What was I going to say to your point? Anger. Terry Pratchard. Kill List. Steve Buscemi. Oh, David. But I only bring this up as to say, I had this like both idyllic childhood, but the more and more I like think about it, it was just super weird. Like it was nothing like it wasn't anything traumatic. It was just fucking bizarre all the time. Like just like in grade 5, our teacher would just openly smoke cigarettes during the day. Like he'd just be like, I'm going to my car. And you're like, what? Yeah, like they're just super fucking weird. Like so odd.
Mine was like all of the experiences were sort of fairly run-of-the-mill suburban mischief or like team sports and stuff. But I spent my whole childhood not understanding where people got their opinions from.
Oh,
like they just
very different childhood.
Everything everyone thought was so nuts to me at all times that I was just like, I felt like a fucking alien in my town. And so, like, I got along with everybody. I played sports, and I was good at math, and I had friends in sort of all the different groups and whatever.
Good at
But
math.
I was really good at math. But I just didn't. None of them made any fucking sense. It literally wasn't until I read Adbusters that I was like, "This makes sense to me. This hardcore leftist rag. This gets me." But yeah, I just never, ever, ever felt comfortable there.
No, of course not. You're in rural British Columbia. Like I never felt that comfortable in Ottawa, but that's because I'm not a maniac, and that's a city of like I have been around the world. Ottawa is possibly the most bizarre place I've ever been in my entire life.
It is fucking weird there. I've only been there a couple times, and both times I remember coming into town and just getting a vibe, being like, no. Like I had a great time at Absolute because it's the easiest club in the world, and then and it was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I haven't been to Billy's Bakery, but I feel like you're probably right.
Oh, it was Earthlings. Thank you very much, Love Tour H.
Oh yes. Although, yeah, LA May comes up with this point. That has made you the comedians you are today. Very good point. Yes, an outside
That's true.
perspective.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sidebar, I've only ever performed at Absolute Comedy in Ottawa one time, and I don't like how good of a room they've created because a lot of exceptionally untalented human beings like actively causing problems for comedy because like people will go and be like, oh, I don't like that. And they will think that that's what comedy is. And those fucking losers with jobs in Ottawa that do it 1 weekend a month make it look bad for everyone because comedy has this weird thing where it's people have decided it's not a like it doesn't have genres. They just decide it's one thing where it's like it has fucking genres. It's had genres the whole time. Richard Pryor and George Carlin are vastly different, as are they vastly different from Joan Rivers, who should be the third person included in that, but you don't include that because of misogyny, by the way, just so you know, just so everyone knows. Oh, and by the way, funniest of all three, I'm giving it to Joan. That's not true.
No,
Pryor. It's
Pryor.
It's Pryor.
Yeah.
It's Pryor. But you can almost go, it's almost Joan. Like
Joan's definitely a solid second.
Phenomenal. Let's put it this way: better than George Carlin.
Yeah,
George Carlin has whole hours. It's basically just watching someone who's read a dictionary and then smoked weed, and I can just be that guy. He's doing
Judd Apatow is doing a documentary on Carlin. I'm looking forward to that.
It'll be fascinating. He is the third foundational stone on which stand-up comedy is intense wordplay and writing. Domestic rebellion being Joan. I feel like Brendan Burns trying to talk about Edinburgh shows with this, but I'm 100% right, and I think about this all the time because speaking of something that also makes me angry, like Morrissey, the fact Joan Rivers doesn't have more credit as a stand-up comedian icon does actively piss me off because I'm like,
everyone knows her for the red carpet. It's like she was
and nobody knows her for doing the best jokes on Ed Sullivan.
Being a great host as well. Fucking great host.
My friend Janet has had 6 different what is it? My friend Janet just came back from her sixth appendectomy in Mexico. And then and told me not to use some meat that's a bit off, and I'm just going. I can't fucking remember it. There's a joke where she basically did an abortion joke on Ed Sullivan. Yeah. And Bjorn, Tim is coming on, but here's the problem with Tim.
Is he?
Knows where he is. Yeah. Yeah. Like, he's got the link. He hasn't said he's not coming, but he told me he had a meeting. So who knows? Would you like to come on?
Excuse me.
Bjorn, do you want to come on?
You're very welcome to, Bjorn.
Paul has link. Thank you, Alex.
Ooh, come on whenever you want, but
yeah, that's how I feel about those other things. Oh, and the fourth pillar of stand-up comedy is Andrew Dice Clay. He's the 4th greatest comedian of all time. Bada boom, bada bing. Little Boy Blue, he needed the money. You write a better joke.
I mean, I don't know because I'm torn here because like I don't like that the Catskills guys don't get any credit.
It's weird. I do.
I don't, because like
I do.
Shecky Green could write a fucking joke, man.
I mean, as can Dave Allen, also underrated. Dave
Yeah,
Allen,
but he was
phenomenal.
Irish, so he's not part of the
He's not part of
lineage
this
North
discussion
America
because
wise. Yeah, he's
we're doing
phenomenal,
America.
but he's not part of the lineage.
Well,
So
the
like
problem
I
is
feel
that
like
the
there's
best,
like a
the best of all of them, the most known of all of them was Jackie Mason, and Jackie Mason loved saying racist shit. It's so fascinating. Like Jackie Mason also, he was so famous for so long, and also like when he died, his daughter's tweet about him was, "I never could talk to you when I saw you at the Apple Barrel diner, but it's the only thing sadder than that is knowing that I'll never be able to talk to you again." It's like your eulogy to your dad was, "We didn't talk when he was alive,
yeah.
and now we never will." Not, and I'm so sad that we didn't mend our fence. Just being like, yeah, well, that's what it is.
Damn. Clay was Clay? No, Clay's not arrested. I mean, I'm sure he did some bad things, but
Andrew Dice Clay. Well, the thing is that
also he's been married the whole time, hasn't he?
he's been like he's on his third wife, but yes, like
Oh, okay.
it's also that weird thing of Andrew Dice Clay kind of lived it. Andrew Dice Clay, an argument could be made, sort of invented trolling before the internet. Like it's a thing if you hang out with guys that hang out at the Comedy Store, like he filmed a movie on this like weird digital camera he bought that was about like a whole movie. Like there was and it was not edited. It was literally just, we're filming the movie, and like different people are in it. Like I think a few people have seen it, and it's like insane because it all just takes place in one hallway in the Comedy Store, but it's a cop movie starring Andrew Dice Clay as a cop, like Detective Dice. Like it's so crazy.
That's very funny.
There's tourists in it. Carlos Mencia's in it, and Joe Rogan's in it. Like, and he did it just to do it. Like that's the thing with him.
Why not? That's fucking great. I'm trying to think. I don't think I agree with Dice as the other person.
No, he's not. He's absolutely not. I was fucking joking,
good.
of course. There's no way it's Andrew Dice. It's not.
You
Andrew
do love
Dice,
and because he was like one of the first stadium
no.
comedians.
No. I love The Day the Laughter Died as a thing that exists.
Well, also you're a big fan of like, I mean, when you started, you had the shades and the leather jacket. And
I mean, that's just because I was cold and I'm cool.
You used to bring women in bikinis on stage and just call them bitches.
Good, you had me. Did everyone think that was real? Are you fucking insane?
It feels like an opinion you would have had. That was.
I mean, I'd make an argument that Doug Stanhope deserves to be up there for no other reason than he really definitely was a big light in the fog to a lot of people, and definitely took comedy in a bit of a different direction, and also is dark, but not dark in the in the traditional sense.
Well, also I would say that especially for this generation of comics who are like, I don't need anybody. I can just do this. If I master my own like internet presence now, but for his was like just gathering live followers to build his own career,
have a MySpace
completely outside of the industry. Doug Stanhope was really like sort of a patron saint of that. You know, he was a remarkable guy who, I mean, he held the Just for Spite festival.
Yeah, when no one tells you, it was the Just for Spite festival. I know some people that went and they were like, it was just a Doug Stanhope gig, and then and this was described by a comedian, and then some of the worst people who think they're comedians, which is ooh, yipes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his entourage. There isn't a single comic that he goes, I love this guy that I love.
Let's put it this way. One of the people that participated in the Just for Spite festival nearly killed Barry Crimmins.
Oh, wow.
And another
in the car crash?
I mean, I'm not getting into
it. That is, yeah.
And did that. And then another one got canceled for licking a reporter on air.
I feel like that was Andy Andrist, but my only
Andy Andrist.
Yeah, my only qualm about that was who was interviewing Andy Andrist.
Yeah, it was one of them, and the other one was this one.
Oh shit! Yeah, that guy sucks.
Oh, that guy sucks so hard.
Oh no way! Yeah, that guy's a weirdo too. Excuse me. Made me laugh though. The second one used to make me laugh.
Oh, he's very funny.
Yeah. The first one never made me laugh. The first one was just a loser.
Oh yeah, he was one of those ones where I was so happy I met that guy, had the experiences I had with that guy,
Yeah.
because it just trained me because that guy is one of the 7 people you always meet in stand-up comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like every scene has a very brassy, loud, brash female comedian that's very good, but runs a show, and that is their kingdom. Every scene has that human being. Every scene has that person. Every single one has that person. Every person has like one, like the Barry Crimmins killer, who's a lying loser scumbag who spent all of his ex-wife's money and then stole a bunch of money from another person to run a comedy festival and now lives somewhere in the States and is a little baby bitch. Speaking of little baby bitches. Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
You look much better than you have in recent times. Did you dye your mustache?
I didn't. No,
Oh.
the mustache stays that color. It's the beard that goes gray.
No, but I like it because you look like you could be. You look like one of the X-Men that stays back at the mansion because their powers are too much.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Yeah. Oh, this is an old clip. Let's
It's been
watch
a
this.
while.
Let's watch
This
this
hasn't come up in ages.
What's
I
funny
mean,
is-
I look
awful.
better than I did there.
Yes.
Hold on. Here we go. We got to see it. We got to be able to see it.
My favorite part's coming up, by the way, is there. I love the little wave, and then I love the wander over here. Oh, I forget you picked something up. I always think you just wandered for no reason.
I think I was getting a bottle of something.
You said earlier in the day that you were going to do it, so I think you were just making an appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God, Paul.
your hatred of Ed Knight isn't new. That was the
Yeah.
key. Ed Knight's on. I'm going to come in without my shirt on.
I specifically said I'm going to come in eating from a bucket of chicken with my shirt off.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Paul-
don't even know Olga Koch. I don't think I've ever actually met her.
Well,
She's lovely.
she knows you now, bro.
Yeah. She's absolutely
Paul,
lovely.
This is a weird thing. We've never actually done we have bits on the show. I don't know if you knew this. We have 2 things that we need to run through you with. Now, do you want to talk about poo or licking pussy first? Which one would you like?
Paul's done the poo one, hasn't he?
Sadaf was mentioning this earlier today. I don't know if I want to talk about either of these things. I mean, because she came into the kitchen and me and Chris were talking about poo and cleaning up after poo, but we were actually talking about people who bulk bought items during the pando, and we were,
Specifically,
you're not
toilet
leaving
paper.
the house. Why would you need toilet paper? You can just
Sidebar.
shower after every poo.
Or 5 a day, you fucking weirdo.
Apparently, there is a comedian in Britain who is referring to the pandemic as the panna cotta, and I officially declare war on the country of England. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Are you? How much money do you want to bet that it's Jenny Collier?
I will.
yeah.
I will
Definitely Jenny Collier.
Wow.
I don't
It
know.
is not.
I don't know
No,
that, but
no,
it's definitely
not.
Jenny Collier.
It is not. It is not. It is 100% not. But may I say, excellent guess.
Yeah, that's so spot on. If it's not her, she's jealous of them.
Yeah, she's really fucked off about it. It's like, oh, they took my bit.
It's in the private chat.
No. Come on. Better than that. Better than that.
What? What's in what? What are you
Oh,
doing?
the private
the
chat
name of
has
the
the name of the
comedian.
person who did it. Better than that. I think we can name them, but we are going to make fun of them. So I understand if you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't want.
I like them. I like them a lot.
I love
Yeah.
the person. I
Yeah.
really do. But it's one of those things where I just don't want to get into a whole thing. You know what I mean? Because it's also,
Yeah.
if he was here right now, let's put it this way. The second that person appears on this very program or any other place I see him,
Yeah.
I'm immediately going, panna cotta.
Yeah.
Were you fucking sleeping the day they taught joke writing at joke school, motherfucker? What the hell are you doing? You're on television.
Yeah. Horrific. horrific. I had such a great green room experience that they told me about Paris is Burning, and then we talked about Casey and JoJo peeing on people from the stage for about an hour.
What are
A
you
lovely
talking
time.
about, Casey and JoJo peeing on people? Whoa. Is that what happened to Casey and JoJo?
That's what happened to Casey and JoJo. They were mounting like a comeback, and then I think it was JoJo peed all over the crowd, Blind Melon style, and that was a wrap. That was the end of the Casey and JoJo comeback. It was like in the 90s. It's like maybe early 2000s, late 90s.
Oh my god!
I'm learning so much here. I did not know that was a thing Blind Melon did.
Yeah, he used to pee on the crowd. Yeah, he loved it. What was his name? The singer for Blind Melon? Well, he's a heroin addict, so you can never quite tell what they seem like.
Yeah, Smacky Mac died early, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why are you gagging so? She bring it to you every ball. I don't know what Trisha's saying.
No, I feel like that was meant for a different chat.
Yeah. Is it possible your sister is on drugs?
What is that?
There might be
It's a Paris is Burning quote. Gotcha. I still haven't seen Paris is Burning, and I keep meaning to, and I keep forgetting. But he was the one that told me about it, and made it sound phenomenal and harrowing.
I have watched it, but I'm going to be totally honest, and it was a bit weird. I've only seen the first half because the lady I was watching it stopped the movie and then insisted we have sexual intercourse.
Oh, wow.
It was in a period of that relationship where I no longer wanted to be in it, but I just wasn't prepared to know that information.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. No, this will get better, but in your mind, you're like, no, it won't.
Nah, it's not that place yet.
No. I had that with Anchorman.
Hey.
I had a lovely time.
Hey, also, where's Ashley Manning?
She's
ACMS.
ACMS right now. Paul's logging off. Watch this.
No.
Paul's hanging up.
Yeah.
Paul is hanging up.
What was the fucking point of this at all?
Oh, why? 'Cause you can't just talk about Tato. By the way, do you understand you have my father now trying to track down Tato's Irish pancakes or whatever the fuck they're called in America? Because he's just like, they talked about it with such passion. You know what I mean? You got to try those chips. I don't know when I'm going to get to Ireland. And I'm like,
I think you mean waffles. Because potato bread is an entirely different thing and more readily available in Scotland.
I want you to know this right now. I want to
guarantee
punch
Stephen
you
Hastings
in
doesn't
whatever
make that
part of
mistake.
your body has got cancer the first time. That's what I want to do right now for you correcting me. I don't know where your lymph nodes are, but I'm going to.
Well, I mean, your lymph nodes are throughout your body, John, and you should know where they are.
Should I?
Yeah, you know when people say you've got swollen glands, like if you've got like a throat infection and you swell up here, they're the two most prominent lymph nodes, but you've also got ones around there, down above your chest, in your armpits, all the way. I mean, the whole lymph node system is another system within your body.
They're like pressure points. You know when you watch a Kung Fu movie? The circles?
I got mine there and a little bit in this armpit. It's very serious if you get it below the diaphragm. Or if you get a heavier version of it called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, where I had classic Hodgkin's disease.
Nice.
Which is why it's a much easier one to treat. But that's also, here, is very near your thyroid. So when I had the radiation therapy on it, it killed off my thyroid. Hence, me taking thyroid medication for the rest of my life.
Hey, Paul. You know how you have a bum leg?
Yes, I'm going for a scan tomorrow,
Bro.
very early, which was why I was really only coming on to say hello. But
Yeah, I didn't expect you to come
I
on.
want you to have a good. Alex is getting excited about pranks. Is I had a leg issue, and let me tell you this about the American healthcare system: no scan, but just a bunch of different various people of various ethnicities walked into a room I was in, touched my body, and then finally I talked to a doctor, and I sprained a ligament, strained another ligament, irritated all the nerves in my hip, And they also think pulled some muscles. How did I do that? One stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, the body is a wonderland.
My goodness. Is that what John Mayer was singing about?
You know, you can be honest with doctors. You can,
Yeah.
you can just say wanking injury.
Yeah.
No. I had already told them.
You pulled yourself asunder. Is, I believe,
I gotta tell you,
medical
I did
term.
not connect that all of those things do sound like I just jacked off way hard. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, your OnlyFans got out of control.
I mean, it's crazy. Who do you think is of the three of us? Which one is the most likely to start an OnlyFans? Here's the answer. It's me. I already did. Oh, Beardy, stop trying to turn us all on.
I know a lady. She's one of my very good friends.
Do I know this lady?
You have met her once, I think. But she, in her early days of dalliances with men, was quite committed to the oral sex, the giving of oral sex. She was a fan of doing it, one might even say.
Hey.
And I think it was just like a power thing or something like that she just loved the idea of being able to, whatever. But she had a technique thing of like a pressure build-up, pressure release, where she'd like make a seal almost. So it's like, so it's like sucking more blood into your dick and then releasing it and then whatnot. But one time she overdid it and heard a pop and got a mouthful of blood.
Nope.
I can actually, with my window open, hear Chris's nose echoing up and down the street.
Nope.
Oh, good. What popped?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think she knows. He just went to the hospital.
Yeah, I bet he did. And then they never spoke again.
She did not join him.
Jesus. You can break your penis. I remember learning that from my older sister's neighbor. I was 15 and I was at my older sister's house, older half sister, and we were all getting drunk in the backyard. And her neighbor went from being a very sweet like housewife to aggressively sexual within about 3 or 4 glasses of wine, and wasn't like trying to sleep with me or anything, but just all she wanted to talk about was fucking and like sex mistakes that were made. And she was the one that first explained to me that penis can be broken given the right speed and body angles.
I have a story about that. Also, how it can be broken is the tissue that becomes engorged can be broken like a bone, and you can absolutely bleed to death, which, let me say this right now, that's just information I didn't need to know.
I can back up the fact that you will bleed a lot from the penis. When I was 10 years old, I split the head of my penis open on the handlebars of a BMX.
Oh.
I still have the scar today.
What did you
on,
run into?
It's literally on my helmet.
As soon as we started down this topic of conversation, this is how, I guess, much I know about Paul's life. We were maybe
I have definitely told you this story before.
I 100% knew as soon as you said that you heard a pop, I was like, it's countdown to him telling everyone he has a scar on his dick. Like, it's just because, first of all, let's all just be honest. That's pretty cool. Where's your scar? I got a scar here.
My dick is the spitting image of Joaquin Phoenix. Like, I swear to God, he could use a picture of my dick as a passport photo.
Yeah, it's weird. Paul's dick actually lost the role of Johnny Cash because I had my pelvic floor shredded 5 millimeters from being castrated. Dick injuries bleed a lot. It's true.
Ooh.
Ha!
Whoa.
Liam Green Jacket, I'm gonna need the name of the human being you were with when that happened, because they They sound really good or really bad at sex.
Yeah.
And I
Hopefully
don't know
they've
why,
figured out their technique.
but I need to find out
Yeah.
which. I was once in a green room at the Toronto Yuck Yucks with a bunch of comedians, and someone said I jacked off too many times today. And another guy went, I like jacking off more than you. And we were all like, this is a weird thing to claim. Go ahead. Why? And he went, I was having sex with my girlfriend. She broke my dick. The doctor said, do not jack off for 6 weeks. I waited 1 week and I came a lot of blood. And we were all just like, I just remember, I didn't say this, but someone went, who taught you what bragging was? This is not bragging.
Yeah.
All right, what was it that you wanted to ask me about poo? Go on.
All right.
You must have seen this.
Yeah, it's the we ask you how you wipe your bum, and then we show you a guy how he wipes his butt like a maniac.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I believe I've answered that question. I've answered this question before.
Yeah, we've had you on for that.
And you know about the.
I'm a 2 dry, 1 wet, 1 dry. All
Strong.
from behind, wipe
Strong.
front to back.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna go with a fun one. We're gonna go with a little wholesome tale to end Paul's time here on the program, and then Paul can fuck off into this good night and get up and do a scan, and Chris and I will keep wasting everyone's time until it's 4:00 here, and then I can go jump in the pool.
Pow, pow, pow.
This particular story features one Jason John Whitehead, as well as the normal crew. If I actually remember to hit the fucking thing. Can you hear that?
From like,
Yeah.
Great.
You name it. He was in The West Wing. He was in Ricky Bobby. He plays Will Ferrell's dad in Ricky Bobby.
Paul, he's talking about the actor Gary Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
From Midnight Caller and Office Space.
Amazing comic actor, friggin' legend. I was on Venice Beach and ran into him, and we had like somebody in common, a manager or an agent or something, and we ended up chatting for a while, and it was going awesome. And we even started having drinks at a bar, and we each had girlfriends with us, whatever. We're having a great time until I got comfortable enough to go, hey, we share a birthday, And the look on his face of like, how would you know? But to me, it's so logical. Of course I would know this. It's my birthday. I've looked at who has my birthdays. I've always known that Gary Cole has my birthday. But no. The look on his face after we had built a friendship and we had talked about the industry for a good 20 minutes.
Paul, your reaction to, I'm going to say it, the most JJ Whitehead clip. By the way, everyone go watch JJ Whitehead on Twitch. That is JJ Whitesnake on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most JJ that there's ever been.
Yeah, that's him in a nutshell right there.
Final question. Have you ever looked up who else has your birthday?
I'm sure I have, but I can't remember anyone of note.
That's the thing. It's that he remembered it was because Gary Cole is not the most of note person to have your birthday.
No, I would
That's
have
down
to
the
have
list.
looked. Like if it was my birthday that day, then I might know the answer to that because I might have checked that day or just been on IMDb for some reason.
All I know is the only one I know is I'm a day after Bon Scott from AC/DC's birthday, because in my head I was like, ooh, that would be a good one. That's a fun same day as Bon Scott. You know what I mean? The better singer from AC/DC.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Carmen Electra.
I know Hot Chocolate were at #1 in the UK charts. I think it was You Win Again on the day that I was born. And in America, it was, and I love this one, it was Bill Conti's Gonna Fly Now theme from Rocky.
Oh,
It was #1 on the day that I was born. See, I think that's far more worth remembering, like what was in the music charts.
I think mine was Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper.
That's a fucking belter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. I
But
don't.
also makes me realize how much older than you I am.
Yeah.
Because I remember that song coming out.
All I know was I was born while Live Aid was on TV because my mom always describes being wheeled into the surgery. She was just watching Live Aid, and then they came and were like, "All right, let's rip this stupid baby out of your dumb body." And then she was like, "Well, I wonder if this Freddie Mercury is gonna do. How's he gonna follow this whole thing?"
But Simple Minds are opening Philadelphia.
Yeah. I'm aware I'm about to be a mother, but have you ever seen the Boomtown Rats in London, sir? Bob Geldof looks so thin yet so fat all at the same time.
There was a picture from Bob Geldof's wedding that was going around Twitter the other day, and it's like him surrounded by other much more famous musicians. And particularly David Bowie was there, and the look on his face, it's so smug. He can be like, "Yeah, these are my pals." You stupid fuck.
I've got a real good one for the number one in the UK. I love that it's this. This is Duran Duran's
The Reflex?
A View to a Kill, the theme.
A View?
Oh, nice.
Wow, you are so young. I went to see that movie in the cinema.
Oh, you're ooh. Beauty Noise has Stay by Shakespeare's Sister. That's
a great Jim.
Ooh, Kimmersby. Mine is You Win Again. You Win Again by the Bee Gees. That's not bad, I gotta tell you. Because here's the problem: the Staying Alive is so good, you forget that the Bee Gees have other absolute bangers. And by the way, in the U.S., I don't think I know this song, which is in the U.S. Oh no, wait, U.S. song. View to a Kill by Duran. In the UK is Frankie by Sister Sledge.
John, you'll never believe this.
I remember that.
Mine was The Reflex by Duran Duran in the UK. We're Duran Duran babies, buddy.
Yeah,
I knew one of you would have The Reflex.
Yeah, because you're what? 80, you're a few years before me, yeah?
84.
Mine is Thomas Edison reading Mary.
Oh, see, so Paul, what you're having with us, I'm having with Alex right now because hers was No Diggity by Blackstreet featuring Dr. Dre.
That is illegal.
I was going to school dances where that was played.
Fantastic. One of the few, in fact, I think only 2 top 10 hits of the pop charts to not have a bass line.
No.
That and When Doves Cry by Prince.
When Doves Cry doesn't have a bass
There
line?
may be other examples, but they're the only 2 I can think of. Someone can check that. I might be talking shit. This is a great thing about having a chat. It's just, I could be talking shit. Someone else look that up. Fetch me facts. I have notions.
It's the same thing. I was recently having a very classic comedy conversation with a bunch of Yank comics, and it was about like, well, what if you offend someone? You don't apologize. And I was like, I offend people just by accident, so it's just a blanket. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no, it seems like you were talking shit. Sir, you don't even know how right you are. No, it's even crazier. Whole career, I've moved continents more than once, specifically to head somewhere new to increase the amount of money I receive for talking out of my asshole. So if I offended you, you're right, and I'm sorry. Like, it's just like, that's not difficult. Yeah. It seems like you're just talking out of your ass and you don't actually hold those opinions. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else you'd like to speak that is truth?
I'm sorry. I thought we were in a green room for half an hour. I didn't know we were going to get fucking real.
Yeah.
I'd rather guess what Prince's shoe size was. Thank you very much.
Wouldn't it be weird? Prince seems like one of those guys that this wasn't true, but he told a lot of people childhood was hard. One leg was longer than the other. Prince seems like that guy that made it very specific and weird to say, I don't believe you, lie. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's the kind of guy who's like, I was born with a full head of hair and teeth. And you're like, why would you lie about that, Prince? Yeah. Like I was talking about a friend to another friend, and they were like, hey, you know what's weird about that guy? I really like him now, but when we started in comedy, he would just lie about stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? He'd be like, he'd just tell you like, I'm going to go do my laundry right now. And then the next day you'd see a different LA open mic, and he'd be like, remember yesterday when I told you I was going to do my laundry? I was lying. And they were like, what? Like, do you just like lying? And he's like, yeah.
Weird.
Like, okay.
Do I know these people?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you know one of them. You know the one I was talking with about the other person. And
Oh,
the other
okay.
person Paul has met.
Ooh. It's super weird. That's how a
Wait.
child lies.
Wait.
That's how a toddler
Wait.
lies.
Hang on. I'm me.
Yep.
You're you. Who did I meet?
You met another guy whose name is in the private jet.
Oh yeah. No, I know both those guys. I've met both those guys.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you knew.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
Oh. Here's my problem is I'm actually very good at lying in the moment, but here's the problem with me lying is I immediately forget. Like I have to immediately like I have to lie and then leave that room and write down that I've lied because I've forgotten already. Like I've just
I was a great liar as a kid to the point where I got bored and just started telling the truth all the time.
I feel like Paul.
Yeah, I wasn't a very good like out and out liar, but as a result, like very much developed a thing of, well, I'm going to tell them the true bits that they want to hear.
Yeah,
like I'm good at spin
Sifting.
rather than lie.
But that's not the same as lying. Like there's certain situations where like
Well, no, it is. No, it is. I mean, the end result is I've misled them. Like I can take it all the way to it being a lie. Like I know I'm lying, kind of thing. But,
now, Paul,
but in a weird way, you're telling the truth. It is that like it's that slight poker thing of, you know, proper poker players. It's not like the movies. There's not like out and out bluffs where they have a handful of fucking feet. They just can tell from the like a fucking one and a balloon.
Yeah.
But they, it's that thing of I probably don't have better than them, but they don't know that, so I can make it seem like I do. And I might. Yeah. No, like there's always that kind of I might be telling the truth. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, is anyone else just suddenly very scared of Paul with that last sentence where he goes, in a way, I don't even know when I'm lying.
Well, it is. It's not that I don't know. That's the thing. I do. I very much do know, which is why I wouldn't even go, oh, no, I never lie. I fucking do. But the way I do it
Listen, guys, I'm Paul Byrne. I know when I'm lying. I know that it's wrong, and I do it anyway.
Yeah,
Paul Byrne.
That's what I'd say.
What is Perudo?
Yeah, Perudo it's Liar's Dice.
Ooh.
If anyone's ever played Red Dead Redemption and played the game Liar's Dice in it.
Yes.
Perudo is the full version of that game.
I haven't played Red Dead.
I'm very good. I'm very good at it. So is my mother. In fact, I would say that my mum is probably the best at it in that she's always in the last two people. Like it's a game that you keep playing it when everyone gets knocked out, but she very rarely wins it.
Here's a weird thing. I credit Red Dead Redemption literally keeping my spirits up for an entire month during the COVID lockdown. I have never had more of an enjoyable experience than playing that game, and I have never felt weirder in my life when that game ended, when my horse died towards the end of me playing that game, and I actively, like, I had to stop playing the game and have a think because I was so sad. My horse Geebag fell off a cliff while I was hunting a bear.
Oh.
But funnily enough, I'm currently booking an episode of the video games thing that I work on, where there's a roundtable discussion about death in video games.
Oh,
how it's used within the narrative and how it's used to link it to characters, which is a shame. If you were a resident of the UK, I could probably have put you on it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Listen, this is the the problem with heading to another market is that all the good work and connections you've made in one market, they don't help. I had a thing recently where I was talking to a guy, sort of texting back and forth, who's left like a big prominent market like New York or LA or London. And the way he was talking was a level of delusion that I was active, like that actually made me upset. Like it was like, what? Like you've gotten this far in show business and you think that's how this works? Like, yeah, no shit, it didn't work out in the big market for you. You don't know how to go get gigs. Like it was insane. Like that
Wait,
opposite
what do you
of,
mean?
I was talking to someone and they were like, they were bashing a big market. They were bashing Los Angeles because they were like, there's no way to get on shows. And I explained to him how I got on shows. And he said, that's not how you do it. Everyone knows that. And
and yet there you are.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, what are you talking? Like, get out of the way. Then get out of the fucking way. Like, what the fuck?
What did he think was the way that you do it?
Your agent gets them for you.
Oh, so you just sit back and just wait for your agent to book new material nights and one-nighters.
What he asked was, how did you get all those gigs when you didn't have a manager in LA? And I said, what in the name of God are you talking about? That's Paul Byrne, everyone, who's just giving us a nice view of his room. Okay, Paul's looking for something.
I'm looking for a pen to write down the name that the person in the chat just. I'll put it on the board.
Oh, Nate Crowley for the panel.
Nate Crowley.
Crowley. Alistair Crowley's great-grandson, Nate Crowley.
And the way that you do it is you email people, or you know people who will recommend things, or you like I look at other comics websites and see where they're gigging, and then I go, oh, that's good to know. I haven't heard of that show.
All of those things.
And I
Go
notes, all
hang
these
out,
things.
bang, bother the booker. When the booker sends an email that says, if you want to be like me, which is vaguely passive aggressive, but this really works in the UK every time, which is they'll send you an email saying, stop emailing me. I'm not booking. And then you send an email going, how about you book me and I'll never email you again? And they go, fair. And here's a date. That happened and worked so many fucking times. And it was so funny because then you'd be at the gig. And one of them did this in particular. He said, I didn't want you on the gig. I never watched your clip, but I wanted you to come here and bomb. And then I talked to people and it turned out you were a nice guy. And I was like, isn't your job to book comedians for your comedy show? Not do that? Anyway.
Bookers get really annoyed when you email them.
Oh, fucking, they can fuck off. I have all comedy bookers, I have the same sympathy for scabies. And by the way, that's not all comedy bookers. It's just the dickhead ones. The good ones are great.
Yeah, the good ones are fantastic. But yeah, I've had that. I mean, John, you told me about a show that you did, and you were, I don't know how I came up in conversation, but the guy's like, I don't book that guy. He emails me too often. Yeah. It was like, answer.
Yeah. Or it's not enough countdowns on tonight's stream. So Paul, you've booked a comedy show. Once.
The thing that really annoys me actually is when comedy bookers do things like tweeting, here's 5 bits of advice on sending an email, and you're just sitting there going, 5 bits of advice on emailing you.
Yeah.
But that's not the way everyone does it. And don't pretend you know how anyone else does it. Yeah.
Also, different countries do it differently. Like the UK wants a lot of detail, supposedly. I've heard, I don't know. The US literally wants just put your clip and put your put I am a comedian in the subject line and put your clip and 3 credits, and that's all they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, I was any of the shows that I've worked on, I was very rarely booking people who I didn't know.
That's true. Yeah.
They were occasional runs, like Cray Cabaret and Full Mooners and that kind of thing. But it's not like I booked a club consistently that gave leg ups to new comics or anything like that.
I've never talked to you about.
I mean, even Full Mooners, we used to have newer comics on, and the thing was that they didn't have to do anything wacky. They could just come on and do their best 10 minutes and fucking smash it.
Nice.
Can we?
But even those people were friends of ours. Like they were people like Matt Kirshen, who was going 3 years. Or whatever.
Can we quickly just talk? Because there's some people in the chat, and I find comedy history fascinating. And fuck you, this is my show with Chris and Paul, I guess. So Full Mooners, can you explain what Full Mooners is? Because it's kind of somewhat faded from the lexicon because you guys haven't done it since.
It was just a themed late night show. Like it's not a million miles off the likes of ACMS, where it was just there was a certain kind of anything goes to it. But it was all themed as being after dark kind of thing. So people, instead of applauding, would literally howl, and the whole place would go black, and the giant moon gobo would shine on the wall, and that kind of thing. Because Maxwell figured out that if you make that howling had a weird effect on audiences, like that it would weirdly make guys calmer because they got their heckles out and that kind of thing, where it would actually make the women in the audience up their level because they were able to be vocal and that kind of, and it just sort of leveled everyone out.
That's interesting. How did he figure that out? What show led to that pre-Full Mooners?
Well, the reason it was called Full Mooners was because for a while, Maxwell used to do a lot of MCing, and for a while it was a thing where people who would never fucking heckle in a million years would heckle him.
Yeah.
Like he just draw that, like he'd bring out the weirdest people. It was never, oh, you're shit. Like it was always dudes just shouting out, I want to build a dojo, or like just weirdest of shit. And we used to refer to him as a full moon for hecklers. And that's where the name came from. And then he wanted breakdancers on the show. So we had breakdancers would come on in between acts.
Where did you find that?
Like we always kind of stacked it.
Wait a minute. Where do you find
essentially the headliner was on first, and the person doing the weirdest thing was on last. Okay. Sometimes the person doing the weirdest thing was actually the more famous comic, but you deliberately put them on last because whatever was the selling point of the show, we always put on first, so people weren't waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
And then we'd have the champagne spot, which was the younger comic spot. Then the breakdancers. Then Lady Carol would come on, who's a singer. Carol Cates is a chanteuse who would do Queens of the Stone Age and Radiohead songs on a ukulele, and a really powerful voice on her. Break, headline acts, breakdancers, Carol.
Amazing.
And we did it for a bit down the Comedy Store. And originally didn't have Carol or Tim, but we signed Carol up for Edinburgh. And then about a week into the run in Edinburgh, it would sell out lickety split. Like it was on at midnight, and the queue was round the block for the fucking thing. So one time I brought Tim with me, and we were chatting to people in the queue on the way up through, and Tim just hung around and started entertaining the queue because we were always running late and there was always acts missing and that kind of thing. So Tim would bugle and stand on a thing and tell stories, and then we just put him on the mic, like the God mic for the thing. So he he was this concierge of the entire night, and would introduce Maxwell on, and he was like his Andy Richter like he was his sidekick.
It's an interesting one because those sort of shows pop up in Edinburgh, and then they kind of, what I like is it's an accidental bookend for a thing that is sort of ever changing and ever going. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing that I never experienced, but you see like the disbursement out, and then ACMS immediately replaces it. Like it's something.
Well, I mean, I was immediately jealous of ACMS because number one, they had a lot more women on their bill. Like the Full Mooners was way too much of a boys' club, and is definitely something I would change if I could go back. But also we sort of outgrew ourselves, and we ended up, because it was a lot of work, and it didn't really make a lot of money. So you'd have to go up in a venue size to make money. which meant guaranteeing a certain level of quality, which meant taking less risks and booking bigger acts who were less willing to do weird shit and so on and so forth. And it just got to the point where it wasn't really feasible anymore, because you can only do it in a small venue, and then because it takes a lot of money to put it on. People drink a lot of beer backstage at Full Mooners.
I mean, any Edinburgh late night show gets a bit boozy. What I will always say about Edinburgh late night shows, and I'm interested, I don't know if anyone cares, but what kind of audience would the acts get the next day from Full Mooners? Was it you want to make sure that you flyer and say your show, or is it you can just leave it?
Well, in fairness, it was that's what I mean. The kind of acts that we had on, because obviously it was all our mates. Like, it wasn't one of those. Like, when I say it was a bit of a boys' club, they were very specific boys involved. Like the likes of Jim Jeffries and Glenn Wool and that kind of thing. Like, I think Glenn might be the most appeared act on it. Who wasn't strictly speaking a member of the cast.
So what it was?
I mean, he did even have a character at one point where he sat on a stage in like a white 3-piece suit as the Right Honourable Glenjamin P. Wool. Sat around, just basically heckling Maxwell as he was trying to do his job.
Can I say this right now about Glenn Wool?
I mean, one time we hired a fucking, whatchamacallit, like a fucking 4-piece chamber crap, like for down the Comedy Store. Like, it didn't make enough money.
Here's my question: why haven't we hired a chamber orchestra for this stream? Goddammit! Oh, by the way, Grace Liberty, thank you so much for that comment.
Yeah,
we're not being paid exactly what we deserve, but we'll get there.
Aw.
Yeah. Well, Chris is. Paul and I know we could use for a couple of more bucks. Yeah, what would be the weirdest thing to spend money on for the stream? A 4-piece chamber orchestra just set up in my apartment and a camera on them that we go to every once in a while would be pretty great.
What if we had like a comedy guest, but we made them do a set for the whole show in an empty room, and we would just cut to them at random points during the stream?
We have to pay the comedian.
Yeah, got to pay them the whole time. Yeah,
got to pay them. No, corporate rate. Here's the corporate gig. A whiskey tap for Ashley. No, that's an investment.
No. That's an investment.
That's just when we're.
I mean, we could book someone for a corporate.
Yeah. I have something to tell you, Paul.
Literally, we could give some, like, make them do it as a Zoom gig as well. Like let's have all subscribers' faces or Patreon's faces.
No, I pictured like having a room where they go and we tell them that it's a live show. There's maybe one person in the audience, and they're like, you have to do the show, and we just cut in and out. But yeah, what do we pay? £1,500?
Yeah. Wait, hang on, wait. Pay you? No, Alex, no, I think that's throwing good money after bad.
Yeah, come on now.
I mean, there is a
just
notion.
A chair get flung at Chris Beth.
I mean, it did occur to me to go, you could give some of the money to some of the people behind the scenes that have been doing things. I didn't want to embarrass you guys into doing that, but it's nice to know that Alex has no shame.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Paul. I think you can definitely agree. I'm definitely known for my not taking care of the people behind this. I'm known for it.
Yeah,
everyone knows it.
It's true.
What is the best thing?
Scabby old John Hastings is what they call you.
They certainly do, and that's not just because of the gonorrhea. Oh, it's how it started, but it just turned out to be a clever nickname.
Johnny raised wrong. We've all heard the rhyme.
Okay, so Paul, for something we don't know is that for Paul, we talked about it on the stream. we got Paul a bunch of birthday videos. I am now going to reveal the two people that I chased hard to try and get birthday videos, and they just did not respond to texts or emails. And they were that Canadian guy, Glenn Foster, and Simon B. Cotter. And it was...
I can't believe you weren't able to get Cotter.
It broke my heart, man. And because here's what is, I don't know how, because he saw all the messages. Because I was literally like, hey man, like I was like, he's had a bit of a rough time in his life. He always talked about that period in time about you glowingly. It would really make his day. Like, I laid it on thick. So this brings my next phase, which is we need to earn more money and we need to fly you to Toronto. And I then want to see if we can get you to run into Simon B. Cotter, because then that will be very awkward and I will feel vindicated.
That is a terrible, terrible idea. It has just occurred to me, though, that maybe Simon B. Cotter is smarter than we give him credit for, and knows I don't think that much of him.
No, that
like
can't
maybe
be
he looked at that and went, "They're taking the piss out of me."
Yeah, we certainly were. There was no way that man.
No, mind you, were you paying him? Was it like a cameo thing?
I would have. I
don't. Then he would have done it. Anyway.
Don't think that didn't cross my mind. Like, there was a moment where I went, "Is this worth?" And I went, "No," because I knew he would respond. This is a man who was sponsored by the cake.
No, he's on Cameo as well. Right? He's got to be.
I'm looking right now.
I'm already on the website. I'm already there.
Go. If Simon B. Cotter is on the website, I'm getting my credit card because I will do this.
No sign of him.
Damn it!
Really? That's surprising. Maybe there's some like cruise ship version of Cameo that we
these
don't know.
loose-lipped comments is why you're not being paid. This is going to come up in your performance review, Ms. Watson.
There is Kenny G.
There is no way of getting a Batman bed. We have to. I think we have to give up on the dream of the Batman bed.
Evidently, I'm going to be taking a shipping container ship to England with a Batman bed when I visit in November.
That will be excellent. Would you pay £750 for a 30-second message from Mick Fleetwood?
No.
Well,
how much?
He disagrees.
How much? £750?
Yeah, $750. Yeah.
From Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah. To be fair, it's going to charity. He's got a charity thing in the top corner.
Oh.
You know what? Maybe you would. You get maybe. Has he got any decent quotes from the Running Man?
Oh,
I mean,
my
God! You know the way he's just like in the Running Man for like fucking 5 minutes. He's like some weird hacker dude or something like that.
Is he in the Running Man?
Yeah.
Also, you know what? 2 movies I get confused all the time, and it's really, really difficult to live my life doing that, which is Running Man and Marathon Man. And let me tell you, what are very different movies.
I feel like those never come up. How often does it come up that A, you're talking about Marathon Man or Running Man, and B, the person recognizes the difference between the two of them?
Yeah.
Alex, your performance review may read, might be paid. Yes, we can check on Michael Cohen. Chris, can you please check on Michael Cohen while I get refreshed as to what was the question that was just asked? What were we just asked? Oh, Mick Fleetwood. Oh, how often does it come up? Anytime someone says like a reference to Running Man or Marathon Man. And bear in mind, I work pretty closely with Paul Byrne. So weird movies do get referenced because we're awesome and we talk about cool shit.
Neither of those movies are remotely weird.
You know who's on Cameo?
Classics of cinema to be talking about.
I just heard Paul through my window yell, "Classics."
You know what I don't like? I don't like all the noise in that neighborhood. I feel like if CMOS does get a noise complaint, he's still just going to call me.
No, we're nowhere near the noisiest people on this street.
But I'll tell you who's the noisiest person on the street he's on. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring us home for the week, let's all strap in. It's Kid Chaos himself. Hi, Tim.
Hey. Gentlemen, how lovely to see you.
How are you?
This is divine. We've got Paul Byrne. We've got. You were saying Glenn Wool, but I'm not sure it is. It's another Canadian.
What?
Uh,
I'm clearly Glenn Wool, Tim. I'm clearly Glenn.
I mean,
You
you've
just
got
fucked a swan.
the mountains behind you. I'm going to call you Glenda.
Toblerone.
I'm going to call you Clock.
Oh.
Why?
John
Why?
Hastings, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Nice
Good
to
evening.
see you.
How nice to see you. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late.
That's fine, Tim. I was very stoned last night, and I had a full think about of all the people I'd want to take a raft down the Mississippi. I think you would be the most interesting one to do it.
I'd be on for that, you know.
Yeah,
I'd like that. I'd like a raft down the Mississippi. I've always wanted to do the Mississippi as a river. It's one of the ones I've not been on.
If we took a raft over the state, we'd hit rocks pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying?
That does feel more like a Tim to Time adventure, though.
You want me to carry a raft across a geographical area of America?
Yeah. Oh, I guess you've never read the original Huckleberry Finn, but it's just him and a guy named Jim carrying a raft around Mississippi.
I was just going to say, I think we could reenact it if John and Chris played Huck and Jim. You can decide between you.
Dibs on being Jim, so I don't have to keep saying the N-word.
And that me and Tim could be those two con men that they run into along the way.
The King of America. I got to tell you this right now. If any two people would be slave era antebellum South con men, it's you two boys right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's outrageous.
Am I wrong though? Are we wrong? Look, you're wearing an ascot and a white, lovely garden hat.
I swear to God, Tim, it'd be like doing an upbeat version of Godot. It's excellent. We'd really enjoy it.
I mean, Waiting for Godot, where there's a con man involved. It's like, I mean, isn't that life?
It's the bit in Waiting for Godot when they decide to stop waiting and fuck off down the Mississippi with a runaway slave and a homeless dude.
Yeah. Wait, you've never seen the sequel to Waiting for Godot, Tim? Huckleberry Finn? Samuel Beckett was, if many things, a master of time-traveling foreshadow.
Mm-hmm.
I think Samuel Beckett is the only writer to also be a first-class cricketer. Discuss. I think that's right. I think he's the only. I think he's the only writer.
I'm going to give you one more. Samuel Beckett, only writer to be a first-class cricketer and to know professional wrestler Andre the Giant. He's the only writer that is both of those things. I'm going to say it even further. Only human being who is all three of those things. Oh, there's many professional cricketers who met Andre the Giant, and there's many good writers, but only Samuel Beckett lived next to him and drove him to school because he had a truck, and Andre the Giant didn't fit on the school bus.
Wow. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, to be honest, I wish I'd thought of Waiting for Godot as a play. I mean, that's, you know.
Well, why? I've never enjoyed
in some ways you did, Tim.
Yeah, like I mean, by the way, you are missing a trick, by the way, because if you really wanted to nail the I wish I had made Waiting for Godot, if you had said, I wish I had written Waiting for Godot, the bit would have been that much better. And evidently I'm the only one who went to fucking theater school. All right. Fuck all of you. All right.
What if you just Tim, what if you just put on Waiting for Godot? And you sell tickets to it, but then you just never let anyone in.
You get sued by the Samuel Beckett estate. The Samuel Beckett estate are the most litigious organization when it comes to rights.
But you never actually put it on. That's the thing. You never put on.
They would sue you because they would go, "Why didn't you? You can't. No, you're subverting. You don't subvert Samuel Beckett."
But really, C.S. Lewis estate is pretty litigious. I mean, we once wrote a radio sketch that my goodness, they were on too quick.
When you say we, was it me?
No, me and a friend wrote this radio sketch where
Glenn?
it was a parody of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it was a state school version of that. Wardrobe.
Oh, Tim's frozen.
And,
oh, he's back.
and they're all very public school in the Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. And so we wrote a state school version about a bunch of 4 kids that basically got into Narnia through a burnt out car in the car park of a state comp. And they met Mr. Tungus and were like, "Yo,
sounds positively offensive."
I mean, the fact that it started with yo.
The classist nature of the sketch.
I think we would say,
"Did you make them Chinese?"
I wasn't cast in this sketch. I merely wrote it. However,
hang on. Tim, the mea culpa of you just being the one who created the sketch doesn't go against what we're saying as it be coming across at very least as a bit classist.
Saying you didn't appear in it doesn't make me not think you made them Chinese.
Yeah. Oh, great.
But by that token, are we? I mean,
well, I wouldn't say token. I would not say token.
By that token, I'm just asking a question. By that token, are you blaming Hitler for the ideology of the Nazi party?
Yes.
I mean, that's the same logic you're using.
Yes, I am. I'm going to go out.
Logic. Right there, I'm just saying, you can't blame Hitler for the Nazi party.
Clip it. Clip that.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love the way Tim pronounces Nazi.
And I mean, as a party, it sucks. As I'm saying, if you'd have gone there expecting a party at the Nazi party, you would have been standing in the corner, basically disappointed. Certainly the buffet would have been shameful.
Tim, you're muted. Tim, you're muted right now. You need to unmute yourself.
What does this even mean? Why have I got a countdown?
Okay, we're back.
Why did I have a countdown? What happened there?
Wait, you had a countdown?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had like
I was watching
screen
WrestleMania.
of snow and a countdown and some weird music.
I don't know how that would have happened. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Tim, was the Gambler repeated recently on?
Yes. Yes,
quick sidebar.
Like
very
actually
noise. Very much a bit.
Like actually on the radio rather than.
Yes, it was. Yes, because the BBC...
that would explain why last month I got £71 paid to me by the BBC. And was just like, what?
Yes,
I
indeed.
can't remember the last time I worked for the BBC.
Well, that was the time.
That show is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, it is. It's now available on. You can download it and everything. So do people download The Gambler? Get it. Take it home. Enjoy it.
Yeah, especially if I'm getting residuals. Fucking go nuts.
I negotiated that contract for you. I'm very proud of it.
In fairness, no, you didn't. The BBC have a standard contract and they give that to everyone.
Well, I mean, I say I negotiated.
I've had other residual checks from other shows.
I mean, I got you to sign it. That's very similar to that.
Does anyone, whenever we have Tim on, realize how England got that empire? Like, it's just, there's a level of charm where you're just like, I know I shouldn't go along with this, but it's just very charming. Like, it's just it's very pleasant nonsense. You know what I mean?
Do I play Nirvana on the trumpet?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
We did discuss this one time that Tim, for being so very English, has a spectacular amount of Irish friends.
Yeah.
to which Maxwell just turned around and went, sometimes I think he's profiling us. What was that work that you did for the civil service?
Yeah. Can we talk about that? When's the year we could talk about that, Timothy?
Yeah. Yes, I think we're still sort of 40 years out, but we can.
Damn it.
That is going to be one hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I'm sure it's less than 40 years now. I'm sure it's more than 10 years ago that you said it was 50 years.
Yeah, it might be getting on for like 38 years. Yeah.
Because here's
right.
the thing is,
Yeah.
I've made an agreement with my father because I know a couple of very funny stories he has from certain work he did. And he has said, when all parties involved are dead, including me, go wild. And I cannot wait. Like, I cannot. Like, it's like, I love my dad. I want him to live a long life. That I'm going to close that casket, throw dirt on it, and then look at Paul Byrne, who I assume will be in some sort of geodesic dome floating, and just go, we ride.
just a head in a jar, mate. Just a head in a jar.
That'd be wonderful. Oh, man. What was I going to say? Tim, did you... the hat you're wearing, what type of hat is that? Because I want one, but because I have a giant head, I have to know that. Is that a Panama?
Yeah. It is Panama, yeah. And I'll tell you why. I've had a very tricky week, chaps. So I've had a very difficult time with the chickens, and it's not been easy. Yeah. I'm going to level with you. And the chicken socialization is a very, very tricky art form. So I've had a new chicken. So the nice man, my friend in the village, who's the chimney sweep, he had a chicken that was on its own. And
do you live in the 1880s?
I think it's
yes. Yes. Have you ever been to Norfolk?
Guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Where did he go? Where did Glenn Wool, if that is his real name, go?
It's not. It's Chris. That's Chris. He's going to the bathroom, I think, is what he's doing. Yeah, he's going to the bathroom.
Paul? Doesn't he live with Paul? Yeah. Why don't they share a screen? Why are
because
they rooms in their house?
Because Chris.
Because then we'd have to. Because then we'd have to have the audio on speakers, so we could both hear it, and then we get feedback on the mic.
And
this Chris, is the way to keep it separate.
Tim, look, Paul is broadcasting from the house. Chris is broadcasting from the mountains.
A mountain, yes, I remember. Yes, I'm sorry.
It's like how
I know it. Yes, you're right. He's in.
Also, he's all the way upstairs.
Yeah. Well, he's up a mountain. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, but
he's up a mountain like Moses.
Yeah, but Tim, you know the old Irish saying: if you don't take the stairs to the mountain, then that's the devil who's got you.
Is that the crossroads one? Something's at the crossroads at that point.
Yeah.
The stairs and the devil.
The devil. The stairs are at the crossroads. At some point, somebody's got to go up a ladder, and then they'll get reception. Is that how it works?
And not a snake in sight.
Oh, fuck me.
I don't know what that
Did you hear about that, Paul, yesterday? The snake debate?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, Ashley Manning, who is also frequently on this stream, revealed to us that in Ireland, someone can be a snake, which sort of means snake, but doesn't. And right there is why I'm very frustrated with that nation. We're just going, we are doing this on purpose now.
Yeah. There was a friend of mine from Cork who may as well have a language of their own. They may as well have everything of their own. That's the way they'd like it. And he used to constantly refer to people as snaky fool. So I don't know how you manage to be both sneaky and foolish at the same time, but a snake fool. Snake a fool, yeah.
It sounds like Scandinavian, doesn't it?
No, it's Irish.
I know, but it sounds sounds like Scandinavian.
Oh, it does actually.
That sounds.
I think it is from name Snaky Fool when I was in Stavanger. Yeah, exactly. Why you want to come over to Snaky Fool? The sandwiches here in Stavanger.
Yeah. Sounds like it should be a mid-level Viking.
Beardy noise. I didn't actually know this about the geography, that Ireland and Scandinavia are famously the same place. Paul, were you aware of that?
True story.
Genetically speaking, after British Irish, the most I am is Scandinavian.
Yeah, of course. Dublin is a Scandinavian town.
Yes.
I like that. And by the way, this really fits in with my dad's side of the family. My dad's side of the family is called Hastings because a man from somewhere they think in Denmark got to Hastings said, "Yeah, that's my name. I'm from here. Let's go to Canada." And that's where the trail stops dead for my family. And based on how we've all turned out, let me tell you what that guy was. That guy was a Huckleberry Finn style con man who was on the run from something in Norway. There is no
if it's really family tradition, that's a guy who was on the run from a
divorce.
Is that? I've got a question. Do you mean that is recent memory guy? You're not talking about a Viking that got off a boat in Hastings and went, I'm from Hastings. I'm going to conquer, and this is the intense. You're talking about recent history.
Yeah, we're talking. I think 19th century. I think it was like my grandfather's father's father was that guy. Yeah, like very recent stuff. Because on my mom's side, they were doing the family line, and my Uncle John went to my grandparents on that side to be like, well, we're connected to this family a little bit. Let's get some info. And my grandfather was like, yeah, it stops dead. It was a Scandinavian. And he's like, that's why I can tan, which no one believes, but I can tan. It's only after I brutally sunburn myself. And then still got those sweet Scottish genetics right there. You know what I mean? Must feel pain before you look good for one day. And so it just stops dead. But I like it. And by the way, Paul, could you please write that down in your book? Because I smell a bit for a show, my man.
I like the idea of
someone clip it.
I like the idea of a man arriving in Hastings and going, "That's the one. That's what I want to do." Not Brighton, Hastings.
Yeah, but look. But imagine if my name
Not
was.
Worthing.
Oh, actually, I gotta tell. Imagine my name was John Worthing. Oh, fuck yeah!
If the name was John Worthing, wouldn't you be in a play? Isn't there a play? I think there is. Mr. Worthing, isn't there? I think it's a play, isn't it? I think it is. I think it's by Oscar Wilde. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say I think Mr. Worthing is in a play by Oscar Wilde. I'm gonna put that out there. Someone on chat will hopefully pick that up and maybe tell me the name of the play.
Frustratingly, Baldy is not here. He's our guy. He's
Damn
our
it.
The
guy.
guy that would know that play. He is not here. He's at ACMS in Edinburgh right now.
Bollocks. Somebody is definitely needed to tell us what that play is, Mr. Worthing. It's the origin of the phrase bumbrying.
What phrase is that?
Tim,
you know the phrase. Beniblating.
Yeah. We're all familiar with the phrase fungdungelan.
Yes, we are. Yes, indeed. The popular sport. Did I tell you, chaps? I have to say, you're now looking newly crowned. You're looking at the newly crowned champion. A champion. I won something. Not necessarily an Olympic sport yet, but still very competitive. The Village Croquet Championship. I have to say, don't want to blow my own trumpet, but absolutely won.
Tim,
Yes.
ask now. Ask about the play now. Baldy's here. Baldy might be able to help.
Something about a play. Mr. Worthing.
Mr. Worthing.
Mr. Worthing, yeah.
Is that what you said?
Worthing. It's one of those words. It's Oscar Wilde. It's bumbrying, and it's. Yeah.
What is bumbering?
Well, that's the sport of importance of being earnest. That's it. Well done. Thank you. The importance of being earnest. Well played. Well played, the chat. Thank you. I knew the collective chat mind would nail that. The importance of being earnest is about a man who doesn't tell the truth at any point in the play. And then when he does, he wins the girl at the end. That's the moral of the story is.
So it's Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
It's exactly right. Liar Liar with Jim Carrey was the working of the Oscar Wilde script. Correct.
Very nice. Good.
Yeah.
I thought it felt classy. But
the interesting thing about this, of course, is that it was based on a true story. When Oscar Wilde wrote it, it's based on a true story. And I, in fact, got invited down to the house where the entire true story part of it took place, and had to do an impromptu concert in the drawing room, which was very lovely evening in, I I have to say. In fact, that house is one of the very few houses in England that has a specific type of window. There's only 2 of this specific type of window known in the country. One is in that house and the other one is in the British Museum. So there you go.
What type of window is that?
Well, it's very difficult to open. I'm going to be honest. Not easy. Not easy to
I
open.
think
That's every window in the UK, Tim.
that is
Well,
true.
True story. Except, yes, it is. I mean, the ones in my house you don't open just in case they fall apart. They're basically held together by dust and socks.
Tim,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Good evening. Yes.
Lying about your lying about your doing one's duties, avoiding them by pretending that you have other appointments.
Yes, that's it.
Apparently, that's what bun burying is,
I
as
think
in to bury a bun.
It
is
should
how
be
it's
in the country. Should be added. You're meant to lie about your whereabouts and availability to do a duty.
Oh, you have to actually claim to have an appointment with a fictitious person
in the country.
Nice.
It's interesting. I have to wrap up the stream now because I have to go talk to Mr. Microphone.
I see.
What?
I'm bumbering, guys. I'm doing a bumbering. I'm bumbering.
Oh man, you got
he
me.
did one.
We got him. We got him.
And what we all
got
bought
him.
it was so convincing that we all bought it, and that's the problem with bumburying. Absolutely a problem. Because you buy into it so easily. Oscar Wilde bought into it, ended up in Reading jail.
You think that those things were connected?
I do. I really do.
Now,
I'll
Tim,
tell you why. Because
I knew you would.
the original Mr. Worthington was the cousin of Alfred Lord Douglas, who Wilde was accused of being
friends with.
Friends with, yes, exactly. Yes, friends with.
Hummus chums, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Burying bums?
Were they
I'm
riding the
not-
mystery machine, Tim?
There's no way you're drawing me into this. I'm not getting involved.
Tim, was what they were doing not a cult?
I'm not getting involved.
Were they making love
This
to each other?
It's just the sort of thing.
Hey.
That say the wrong words.
Bowling from the pavilion end?
Yes, were they waiting for the train but not near the tunnel?
See, that bowling from the pavilion end is quite a good analogy because it does involve a downhill slope.
Were they doing the old Macbeth with Tom Tuck?
I've done that. You know. I can't believe that someone's just said that. That's outrageous.
Were they doing the old my family is mostly Scottish, so we could be related in various ways?
The old Scottish one in the family. That's all that there. Yeah.
Were they
doing the old Ari Shafir is the liar?
Why is Ari Shafir?
Oh, that was the best one too, Paul. I gotta tell you, that was
very
so good. Were they doing the old clapping the cheeks of Achilles?
No, I'm not getting involved. I'm still not.
But I know you don't want to get involved, but I just need clarification. Were they in fact doing the front to back to front again?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I
There's
can't
no
pronounce
doing
it. Were they slurping?
Effluvia?
Yeah. From Betts's beard?
I mean, I think we're all concerned about Betts's beard. There's definitely, there has been concerned voice for years.
I know what they were doing. Tim, I know what they were doing. They were doing this.
What is that? I've got the snow again with a countdown. I don't know what it is.
You don't have to know. You just have to enjoy the countdown.
There's a countdown with snow.
Okay, so Tim, in 6 seconds we're gonna come back, and I want you to play Nirvana on your trumpet.
But why?
I mean, it's not to ask, but why? All it is, but to do and die. Your queen said that.
All in the Valley of Death. Road to 300 or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Flashed their sabers bare, flashed them through the air. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke. That's the one, isn't it?
Oh, Tim, quick question. Were they doing the old spin and wipe?
I'm not getting involved. I've been really clear. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Were they doing the old not getting involved?
That's the one. The not getting involved.
Were they doing the old telling Gary Cole you were born on the same day?
Was he the guy in Different Strokes?
No, that's
No.
Gary
Gary Coleman.
Coleman. But very good, yes. Fun
Okay.
fact, Gary Coleman's dead. I had no idea.
He died years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a security guard, wasn't he?
He certainly was. Yeah.
I mean, if you believe The Simpsons, he was screaming into a phone that wasn't plugged in about not having enough wontons in his soup.
I mean, yeah, Gary didn't. I wouldn't say Gary landed on his feet. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those things, isn't it, Hastings? And you can probably identify with this. When you achieve such success early in your career, it's where you go from there, isn't it? I mean, you've continued with this stream, and Gary Coleman had to flip out and be a security guard.
Didn't like all the kids in Different Strokes end up fucked up? Like he was actually the least fucked up.
He's the least fucked up. The dad, the older brother, just full on killed 2 people in a cocaine fueled bit of mania, and the lady, Johnny Cochran got him off. That was the case. So Johnny Cochran from the O.J. Simpson trial got that guy off, because basically it was one of the classic times where the Los Angeles PD were like, that guy's definitely guilty. Here's what we're gonna do. Frame him for no reason. No, he's definitely guilty. You don't need to frame him. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's more fun if we just frame him, though. And they're like, yeah, that's true. Let's do it.
Wow.
That sounds like a police force that needs management.
Yeah. You know what? They were doing the old defund the police. Is that what they were doing?
I mean, it just does seem like they got that wrong, though, doesn't it? From what you're saying, I mean, if that was the meeting that decided that doesn't sound good. I mean, is that minuted? Are there minutes that go, hey, he's really guilty, but let's see if we can frame him as a gag? Is that minuted at the police? Is that a thing? Did they write that down?
I don't think they wrote it down.
Damn it! They police guys.
Tim, it's time for the program to end and for me to go jump in the swimming pool.
Where are you? You're in a bat cave.
I'm in the bat cave.
Okay.
A bat cave. A bat
A bat
cave.
cave. Not the. I've been
No,
in
it's
the
not the.
bat cave, and it doesn't look like that. I'm going to tell you. I've been in it. I've seen it. Done it. I've
Where
stood
were
in it.
you? When were you in a bat cave?
I went to the one. Yes, I went to the one in. Where Batman was in the. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Good.
They've removed the bits. Yeah. There's a cave near where you're living now, Hastings, in the old Hollywood Valley, and that's where they filmed the Adam West.
Well, that's that one.
That's that one.
That's right. That's correct. Yeah. And there's an actual cave.
Yeah.
And you can wander out to it. And
It's the
can-
best part of living in LA is just going to Griffith Park and realizing that every television show from the 60s and 70s, whether it is Star Trek, Batman, Adam 12, Hawaii 5-0, all at some point just filmed at the back of Griffith Park. There's a bunch of different plaques because LA knows what it is, and it's like, and here is where William Shatner fought a Cyclops, and here's where William Shatner shagged a green lady. And you're like, these are 3 feet from each other, and the studio is a block away. You guys not know about looking anywhere else? And like, no, we film here. Tim, quick question for you. Do you have anything you'd like to plug before we wrap up?
Yes, I'd like to plug the now not available Ladybird fiction book. Read it yourself. The Enormous Turnip. It's not available. And it is reading level 2, so some people know. But it's a wonderful book with great illustrations. And if you do find a copy, as I say, there aren't many left. It's a very important book for many reasons. I think you'll see on page 4 the importance of the text, where it says, can you see that? The old man
has some turnip seeds.
Turnip seeds. which is a very important setup for what becomes a roller coaster ride of emotion. You can see him here with his turnip seeds. Where are they? There are the turnip seeds, which is incredible. And I think people will be very moved by the read it yourself, The Enormous Turnip. So I recommend that.
Oh, that's
Failing
lovely.
that, there is, of course, All at Sea, the rip-roaring roller coaster ride of a novel, of a book, of me rowing the English Channel in a bathtub, which is a belter. And is now Book of the Month, I gather, on some Book of the Month choice list of books of the month.
And you guys can also all go buy The Gambler.
Dude, The Gambler
Buy
is
The
a
Gambler.
thing.
Because then Tim gets
me and Paul-
residuals and Paul gets residuals because of the very good contract Tim negotiated for them.
It was a good show, huh?
It was.
It's actually a good show. It is. And it's the famous historical bets in history that me and Paul tried to recreate in the modern period, involving some loopholes in health and safety legislation.
And listen to one of them.
And a 2 a.m. blindfolded walk through London
that's a
on
cracker.
Christmas Eve.
I was literally about to bring this up because this is how Paul told me about that walk, which is I came back from Canada that Christmas, and Paul said, "How was your Christmas Eve?" I bet mine's weirder, and I had a pretty weird Christmas Eve. And I told him, and he went, "You're as close as anyone's come." But no, I have beat you. And I was like, and I heard it and I went, that is fair. That is a fair beat of a weird Christmas
Paul told me the story last
God.
night of you cooking a pudding under 10 feet of water.
Yes, that's the same show. That is the same show.
Hell of a
that-
show.
We accidentally blew up a building. So we tried to cook this pudding under 10 feet of water. And I decided that the best way to attempt this was to get black powder, which is like a very extreme form of gunpowder.
Yeah.
And to cook the pudding by essentially blowing it up. Yeah, the results were as predicted. The tank blew up and splattered everywhere. I just survived.
I mean, all of these shows contain failed attempts before we actually get there.
Do you remember when that explosion went off and I dived for cover and the shrapnel flew over my head? Because the tank was made of metal and we got the ratio of black powder wrong. And I mean, some would say right.
Hang the fuck on. How does Radio 4 only, 6 years ago had the budget for tank explosions?
Yeah, they didn't.
No, you just ask favors of crazy people in the countryside. Like
So
the only Tim could have made this show.
Yep, no,
Like
you're right.
it's when he asks a organic pig farmer, do you have a lake that I could row alongside and race one of your pigs? They say yes to him. They don't ask for money. They just, it's Tim and it's the good old BBC, and they just do it.
But Tim, in all seriousness, he does have a wonderful whimsical effect. Oh my God, critical drinking.
Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody. We're talking about Tim Fitzheim's radio show, The Gambler. It's so much weirder than it sounds. Anyways, you're rowing against a pig.
Yeah, welcome. We're almost wrapping up, so I'm not going to do the raid video. But yeah, welcome, Breakers. Please follow Chris Betts is the Untitled Twitch stream. It's a talk show, but also a stream. It's also a podcast. Just fuck you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
give me a follow. Come on down.
Tim,
I don't think it actually made it into the show, but it was very funny. The fact that off mic, the farmer kept smack talking, like he was turning around to me going, the pig is totally gonna hammer him. There's no way he's gonna get up enough speed. Like the pigs can take off, they've got acceleration. It's like, nobody cares.
We reconstructed a medieval bridge on the riverbank for the pig to run down, and the pig farmer had 30,000 pigs. And the point at which I was like a little bit nervous about winning this bet was when he went, I've got 30,000 pigs to choose from. And you were just like, and then you went, I picked a fast one. And you were like, yeah, okay. It'd be like the Olympic team going, we have 30,000 top class sprinters to do 100 meters, and we've picked a fast one. Off you go, lads. There's nothing more terrifying than a coach going, I have 30,000 athletes and I've chosen a good one. It was a terrifying moment, I have to say, in my life.
It was a really fun show to do. It was one of those shows that genuinely you could have made a second series of it just from the offcuts.
Oh yeah.
Didn't make it on? Like it was.
Well, I remember there was one where we had a bet from was it 1765 or something, and we had this bet where basically it was you had to go was it 30 miles an hour across 25 miles an hour across water, using only means available in 1760. And the newspaper report of the bet was genuinely they built this mechanism involving a donkey, which was like a large catapult. And then the newspaper report from 1760 just went, there was a practice at the bet. We fired the butler across the water. There was a fatality, and the bet was abandoned. And you just went, well, that's the bet to try.
How many
butlers got killed a lot in these bets?
Yeah.
They really did.
There was a kind of
that was a running theme.
There was like
Are you saying that the butler was given the old murdered during a bet?
Yeah. Theme of butler death, but we had a crack at that, and I do remember at one point seeing the senior producer at the BBC in a wetsuit, net deep in the sea, with a speed camera in his hand.
Yeah,
towards me.
Not just any head producer, now producer of Conan O'Brien's podcast and whatnot, Colin Anderson. Out in the middle of the sea.
That's right.
With a speed gun because Tim was making him do it.
I have worked and am continuing to work on a project with Tim, and this is the magic of Tim Fitzheim, is you're speaking to someone who wouldn't give us the time of day, and then this like windswept and interesting man wearing a cloak is going, really? Blueberries in Canada? And then they're just like, I think I love this man. And then he's like, quick favor, do you have a compass that you could get to me in 45 minutes? Well, that would involve a great deal of expense. That'd be fine. And then it's just there and it's good and everyone's happy. It's majestic and wonderful. Because of course,
I'll tell you a story about a compass. When I had to buy a compass, the man in the shop said to me, and this is a project that involves basically what they refer to as almost certain death. The salesman in the shop said to me, it's a great compass, this, for a boat. This is a fantastic compass, this. This is a compass that even works upside down. And I said to him, my friend, at the point in a boat at which you require a compass to work upside down, that part of the journey is over, my friend.
Yeah.
That is the part of the journey when you're upside down underneath the boat and you're still going, oh, the compass works, that you're all dead. You're literally gone. And how is it they've designed a compass that they think is a success story, that it works upside down on a boat? This is not a thing that they should have even bothered engineering. It's a ridiculous idea. Where are the pipes? Do we still have the pipes? Because I like that about this podcast.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
all right, Tim, we're gonna wrap it up. Paul, do you have anything to plug?
Why would you do that? Why wrap it up?
Well, it's because
we've
been talking for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
When do these four minds ever get together? They don't do it enough. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. We'll come on more often.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
All right,
always welcome. Always welcome.
I'll text you tomorrow, and we'll put you in for next week.
I like the fact you've gone to the library, Chris. That's good.
But it felt appropriate considering the smoking accoutrements.
No, I like it a lot.
What about I can go here.
Oh, I was going to suggest that was my I mean, it's a sort of plug. Tim, did you say that you would come on Yappy Hour and give us a quick chickens update?
Of course I would.
Yes. Okay,
Of
so
course.
Tim, you will be on. We're gonna have 2 guests on. It's Tuesday at 7 p.m. Are you available?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll text you afterwards. If
Okay.
not, we have a guest for this week, so it will be the week after.
Okay.
We're gonna watch the for those of you who haven't watched the Yappy Hour, we'll be watching along with Trish Byrne and of course Bruno the Balluno. We'll be watching a little bit of the Westminster Dog Show, and then we'll be having hamster ownership chat with Will Duggan this Tuesday.
I certainly have owned a Sussex Spaniel, 3 in fact, and Sussex Spaniels won the Westminster Dog Show, famously, of course, in previous years.
You're right, Alex. Tim, if that is true, I will maybe have you on this week.
Well, I'm sure it's true because I remember the price of them going up exponentially the year that they won the American Crufts.
I just remembered Will was very drunk when he was on the program, so I'm gonna follow up with him. Watch your text messages. Either way, Paul, anything else to plug besides the Yappy Hour?
Sussex Spaniels, great breed of dog, the oldest English breed of dog. Beautiful things. They're wonderful dogs actually, and they look they're so heroical. They are essentially a very old breed of English dog who are largely dying out. I identified with them immediately. And they are so handsome and gorgeous and lovely. They really are beautiful. They've got these noses. And they sort of look at you with these heroical noses. Wonderful things. Sussex Spaniels, recommend them. And also they had their own class at Crufts.
Ooh.
And it was the same woman that used to Microphone's gone. I can't even hear. There's music again. Is that it?
Tim, where did you go?
It's this thing with the countdown again.
No, I don't see a countdown, Chris. Do you see a countdown?
I've got a
No,
countdown.
I'm still here. I don't know.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm on
Yeah.
now.
What
Yeah,
number
that's
are you at
weird.
in the countdown?
It's not even a sequential countdown. It's not even sequential.
I mean, I didn't have no countdown.
Ashley,
I don't know what-
we miss you. We love you. Come on the stream. We'll say hello to you. We want to hear about your gig. Can you come on so we can hear about your gig? And then we'll wrap it up for the week?
She was saying her phone wasn't working.
I know. I saw that
Ashley
before.
Manning
Yeah.
on her phone.
All right. Well,
Hello
That's
to
a-
her.
that is the week.
Hi, Ashley Manning.
I know it said it didn't work, but maybe it started working.
I've sent several messages to say it wouldn't work. I tried
Well,
so
that's
much.
good.
Try again.
Uh,
Try again.
What a good use of the word "gee-bag." Thank you, Trish Byrne. Baldy, yes, you can come on. You absolutely can come on. Do you want to come on? Get that man a link. Get that man a link. Come on. Come on. You come on. Ashley, come on. And let's all enjoy before we wrap up. So, Chris, do you have anything to plug?
I don't know if you've heard Burns and Carlin live at the Playboy Club. It's George Carlin's early comedy duo act. It's not very good. It's just nice to remember that some people are human, you know? Burns and Carlin live at the Playboy Club. Check it out.
It's insane that Hugh Hefner never got Me Too'd, right? Like, that's the craziest
He
thing.
died just in time because there were a lot of stories, but just no one cared back then.
Yeah, like that was like
Is that Brendan Burns?
Yeah, Brendan Burns, George Carlin.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about hippies.
Yeah, they
That's
do
unusual
60
pairing.
minutes of comedy about hippies and cryptocurrency.
That's unusual pairing. I mean, that is, you know. Paul, are you going to accompany Nirvana on the guitar? Can we manage that?
It just occurred to me it won't possibly work with the delays.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, some would say it would work better than Kurt ever.
No.
envisaged.
I genuinely wouldn't. It would just be infuriating.
Oh,
I was
I'm
going
connected.
to, but
Oh, okay. So Ashley is trying to come on to say hello and tell us about her
Hang
gig.
on, Mo. Let's do the Spanish flea to welcome Ashley.
Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah.
You're very kind.
Lovely.
We could
Tim?
do Louis Armstrong now.
Okay,
Yes.
so you start playing Nirvana, and then I'm gonna wrap up, and you take us out. So all I'm gonna say is
In the style of Louis Armstrong? Should we
Ooh,
do
yes,
that?
in this,
Yeah.
Should I do it? I'm not gonna do it like Louis Armstrong because then we'll be rightfully canceled.
Who's going to sing it?
John is.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, Tom. Oh, John, you should do your Tom Waits impersonation in order to sing it.
Let me close my
That's
window.
not
And I will,
right.
'cause that's loud.
That's not racist.
Oh, let me do it. I gotta.
I learned today, and this is a very depressing moment in my
Go ahead.
life. I learned today that Louis Armstrong only started learning the trumpet at the age of 11, right? I started learning the trumpet at the age of 5. Louis Armstrong is the most seminal, probable trumpet musician in the history of trumpets. And I have got 6 years on him. It just makes you go, what have you achieved with your life?
Well,
Do you know
here's
what I
the
mean?
problem.
How many pigs did he race, though?
Exactly. How many chickens has he raised? How many BBC producers did he almost drown?
Well, these are all
Huh?
things we don't know about him. They've not come up.
Yeah.
I don't know if biographers have asked these questions yet.
I told this story literally yesterday, but you do know that Louis Armstrong got Richard Nixon to smuggle weed into the U.S. for him. Do you?
I had heard something along those lines, yes.
Oh yeah.
And
How many
again-
pudding? Let me ask you this: how many puddings did Louis Armstrong blow up?
Again, we don't know what happened at the White House on that day. And I think it's difficult to speculate. Again, I've got this music, and I've got it loud and clear.
Tim, where did you go?
It's still the countdown. I've got a countdown again.
Okay, well, what number is your countdown? Because I have a countdown now, but mine's at
Mine's-
105.
No, 'cause mine's at 4.
Oh, interesting.
I've got 4.
Through the cast of Grease. Oh, good.
Good evening, viewers, listeners. Good evening. We were talking Louis Armstrong. And,
Just 1 second, Tim. 1 second, Tim. Ashley, you were greatly missed,
Yeah.
but we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Enjoy
Tim's
your
coming
weekend.
back on. Tim's coming
Don't
back on
leave.
next week. Tim, when are you gonna start streaming?
With tears. I'm pretty emotional right now. I've had a difficult week with the chickens, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been very emotional.
Well, I love you. All right, Tim, hit the music. We're gonna raid Hangs with Hands.
Are we?
The raid message is
What's happening now?
I mean, that's not, I mean, is it? No. I mean, it's just the voice. I only
John,
wrote
I've
it.
started my raid. Have you started your raid?
I'm starting it now. Raid message is Tim Fitzheim. It's hello. Said like Louis Armstrong, but like Tim Fitzheim.
No, I mean, it's not a bad.
That is your impersonation of Tom Waits.
I mean, I still think that my Edinburgh show, which Paul has vetoed, which is The Stranglers, sung in the style of Frank Sinatra, is definitely a goer.
No, I absolutely do. I hate everything you just said, and I like all of your ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, we are rating now. We will be back on Sunday at 2 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. your time.
I don't know what
please,
this means.
Please go
Have a
support,
wonderful time. Buy
Tim
Tim's
Fitzheim.
book. Buy Tim's book.
Buy Tim's radio show.
All at sea. That's the
Um,
name of the book.
you can't find Paul on the internet, so just
No.
think a nice thought about him.
Yeah, I'm rating now because my countdown's about to go out. Take care,
I'm
everybody.
rating
We'll
now
have
as
a
well.
great
Bye,
weekend.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.